Hello everybody, this is Danny Lightning here, and I'm with Maxthegamer today. We're gonna do some, we're gonna talk about a few things for you guys, and then we'll probably go into a question and answer type thing in a little bit here. So this should be a lot of fun. It's good to see everybody out here. Say hello to Max, everybody.
Hey everyone.
Let's see, I see Wayne Dixon, I see Alex, I see MTN, Jonathan's here, I see Nick, Alex, CSR2 Lover, FMD, Aiden's, Marcus, David Rivera, TS Kacha, I guess you say, Real 85, what's going on, Smoody, Asher, hello, Mo Barker, MB. How you guys all doing today? Nair 4M Racing, what's going on? Alright, so I think Max actually had a couple topics that he wanted to talk about today, so I'm going to go ahead and let him start off with this.
Hey, thanks, Danny. Hello again, everyone. This is Max. I'm glad to see all of you here. I see a lot of names I recognize and some names I don't. Thank you for joining us today in this stream. All right, so I have on the screen here the Legend trial. Okay, you guys know all about this because if you want to restore your Legend cars, you got to run this trial. Well, I'm going to show you something amusing real quick. Watch how easy this trial is. Here we go. I'm not even going to use nitrous. I'm just going to let this car kind of run through its paces. And I am absolutely destroying that other guy. Destroying him. I wish it was this easy in live. I would never lose. All right.
Hold on a second, Max. Somebody said they lost their account. Please contact customer support through in-game or go to the Zynga support page and send them an email and explain to them what happened, and maybe you'll be able to get your account back.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead, sorry.
And also, if you haven't done it, as soon as you start the game, you're going to get a player ID. Write it down and save it somewhere. This way you can always send it to support when you need your account back. Okay? Now, back to our fun little tidbit here. This DB is not set up to do anything, okay? I'm not even sure I have it set up right. And it's probably not beating Dino, but what I have here is extremely easy Legend trial. And I didn't know why for a while, but I figured it out. I was just telling Danny about this. Look, the car dynos, whatever dynos, 9.9, I was running 10.6, and I was beating the hell out of that other car, right? So it's not the car, it's the cup itself, it's the trial itself. Why is this so easy? Well, guess what? Because I was angry with Legends and I never got past a twin test. I was so upset the first time around with all these challenges. The second time with this account, I said, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna do the Legend trials and restore cars, and I'll just ignore this until all my cars are ready. By not beating a twin test, somehow I ended up with super easy Legend trials. On my newest account, I actually went past the twin test and started Izzy's explanation, and lo and behold, all of a sudden my easy trials disappeared. So that is a tip. Apparently, if you don't finish a twin test, you get what I would call beginner's Legend trial. I mean, it's almost like Natural Motion's making it super easy to help you out, but as soon as you progress a little bit, done. So if you're still new and you haven't finished the twin test and you want to get a few more days of easy Legend trials, this is one way to keep it. So Danny, what do you think? It's kind of an interesting find. I don't know if this will help more people or not, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome, actually. I wish I'd have known that a long time ago. Just make it easy to get through that stuff.
Up to tier 4 cars. So I've been just kind of... And the beauty of this is like the easy supply cup things. You could be, you know, watching TV and doing nothing, and it'll beat the entire trial.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, those things can be a little bit of a pain. So if you can find something to help you through it like that, definitely do it if you can. Unfortunately, a lot of people...
I take any easy cups I can get a hold of. So, and how about that new new gold cup. I think that's a big loss to the players. I don't think that's really a benefit.
Are you sure they're not just adding something else in? Are you sure it's being replaced completely?
Well, I'm hoping we get 2 of those gold cups a season, right? We get a beginning of the season the first day, and then we get another one when PC Cup starts. And I know a lot of guys who updated now only get the green token for the PC Cup one. I'm hoping they'll keep the one at the beginning of the season still gold, at least make it half and half. But if they took away all my gold cups, I'm going to be pretty upset.
I hear you. I mean, that extra gold is really, really nice. That's one thing I've always been impressed with is the gold's pretty abundant in this game. Like, if you're patient, it adds up. I mean, you have a lot of gold coming in.
Yeah, well, I need the gold, right? Because the only reason I have some of the nicer cars because they've been starting to sell that car for $39.50 gold, and you just I'm good. You almost can't. You need gold. Gold becomes the new currency that puts you between actually spending real money and just earning cars through milestone. It lets you get a hold of certain cars that you otherwise wouldn't normally have. So I really love the ability to gather up gold. Plus, if you want to make real points, you need gold for gas. Because you're grinding hard, you could be spending gold too.
Yeah, I've bought quite a few nice cars with gold in my day. I've been slacking a little bit on doing some of the gold trial races. I mean, most of the time I do them, but if one pops up and I'm just having one of those days where I'm like, every once in a while I skip it. But if they actually do decide to replace those completely, that was a mistake. So guys, anytime you have something easy like those gold trials, I mean 15 races, what's that going to take for the most part? 10-12 minutes out of your day to get a bunch of gold. So I would say do those as quickly as you can if you still have them around. If they pop up in the future, make sure you do them because you don't want to miss out on that stuff.
Yeah, it's really worth it. I see in Rare 4M Racing here saying that he's seeing on Reddit that they will bring the gold back and splitting it up between gold and elite. That's good news if they do that. Of course, it slows down the gold game for all of us regardless, but thanks for that information. And I also have Danny, I think Dank Magician's got a question about using gold keys. Why don't you tackle that one?
Let me find it real quick.
I can read the question to you. It says, should I open my gold crates if I don't really have a max or really fast T5? Or wait till event starts? He's got a Bentley Continental GT, a Porsche 911S, and 488 Spider right now.
Okay, I would suggest waiting until you have at least, 70 or 100 keys saved up, depending on the loyalty reward, because every time I open gold crates, I get a 3-star car that's not any good. I have never once that I can remember gotten a good car out of the gold crates. And it's a very big disappointment for me. So I started saving up till I had at least 100. And then when a really, really awesome car pops up in the gold crates, and there's a 10x chance for it or whatever, that's when I would spend my keys on the gold crates, because more than likely you're just going to get a 3-star turd, or you might even get a 5-star turd. I mean, sometimes I do get a 4 or 5-star car, and it's never one of the good ones. It's always one of the worst ones.
Yeah, it's tough to get a good car out of those gold keys. And that new 150 silver key to equivalent to a gold key pole deal, you got to be careful with that too. I don't think the chances are any better. So,
I probably wouldn't open those, honestly.
I probably would stay away from them too. But one of these days, maybe I'll find someone with one of those accounts that have thousands and thousands of keys, and we'll do a poll marathon and see what the statistics actually play out to be. But I'm not optimistic it's going to be very good. All right, so Dank Magician, your best bet is actually hold off, like Danny said. Those gold keys, don't waste them on random polls. Just hold off until you get a better chance. We got another question, Danny. FMD says, I have 500 silver keys so far. Should I poll for next season's PC Cup car? Well, hopefully by next season you'll have more. But, what do you think, Danny? You think
I always
500
tell
is
it,
not quite 750?
I always tell everybody to save up at least 2,000. I mean, that's my opinion. If you don't have a full 750, you have no guarantee that you're going to get the car in the first place. Next season's Prestige Cup car is not something I would personally want to get. I think it's that Bentley Continental Speed GT convertible. And that's not a great car, honestly. So if you don't absolutely need that car, don't pull for it, okay?
And I actually need that car on every one of my accounts because I took a break that season. I didn't play at all. So I'll end up pulling for it.
I'm really glad that I have it because I would not be happy having to spend keys to get that thing.
Well, we'll find out next season for sure how many keys it's going to take me.
Hopefully one.
Danny, actually, before we get too far, there was something important I wanted to kind of bring up on the stream. It relates back to our Sunday stream from last week. So we raced a guy, and he's a player who actually watches the streams here, and he's an active player. He had a green F1 that we raced, and we kind of offhandedly said, hey, you know, he's busting the lobby, he might be cheating. And I think it's the wrong statement to make, and we want to apologize to him because he is actually a legit player with a good setup. So, and his gamer ID, in-game name was Ping USA. It was a green F1. So if you guys watch that stream, just note that he is not a cheater. I actually duplicated his setup, so I know that it's doable. So he has a very good setup that I'm not going to share here, but you know, it was a legitimate race, and he kind of blew Danny away on that run.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anybody beat Dyno Time by that much on one of those cars, and somebody in the comment said something, and I was like, I kind of reacted to the comment, I think, so we definitely apologize, sir. We apologize.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I've been saying with Danny before, that you want to be careful when you try to call someone as a cheater because you don't really know what their setup is. It may not be cheating, it could just be a really good setup. And then, you know, and you're giving people a bad rep without really checking everything. So that's not just anywhere, even on Facebook, I see a lot of posts where people are calling other people out. Just be careful when you do that because it could end up hurting someone's feelings who may otherwise be a fan of yours, and that's not a good thing. All right.
Yeah, so we definitely want to learn to watch what we say when we're online.
Oh, absolutely, and sure. I'm going to be more careful myself too. So, all right, Chris Paul has a question, Danny. Do you see that one?
No, I don't.
Let me read it to you. So it says, hey Danny, hey Max, question. How do you all feel about them adding a tier 6 for those super fast cars? That runs way faster than most of the tier 5s.
You've already got cars doing 6.8 seconds. I mean, how much faster can you really get? You know what I mean?
At some point it gets kind of ridiculous, but having another tier would have to change a lot of things in the game. I have a feeling that's not an update I want to be part of, that's all. You know, because every update comes with issues. Adding that much of a difference to the game is going to be a bit of a problematic thing, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of a bad idea in general. I think a lot of people would be like, oh man, this is terrible. I just think it would make a lot of people unhappy. The background music's too loud. Max, can you hear the background music? Is it too terribly loud? I can go ahead and turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's not disruptive to me, but if you want to turn it down a little bit, it probably helps some people. It seems like it's pretty clear though. Yeah, it looks like Natural Motion moved the in-game GT Cup. We're not sure. Do you have any information on that? It's definitely next season now, or what?
I'm not really sure. It was supposed to happen this season, and it's always possible that it could pop up at the very end of the season. I'm not sure if it's actually been moved or not.
Yeah,
because I have seen them pop up after the Prestige Cup a couple times, if I remember correctly.
So it could be next week for all we know. I mean, right before the end of the season. But with a big update coming, maybe they're holding it off so people don't get caught between updates on it.
See, Clavia is saying it's on 117. That could be very, very true. My original note said it was going to be this season, but yeah, it might be next season. Very possible, very possible. But we should see it coming up very soon, at least within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And Elite GD asked, what are the ratios for the new 150 silver key crates? I actually had someone pull that little, push that little eye on his and show me the screen. If I remember correctly, you have 10% chance of a 5-star, and then it's like 60% chance of a 3-star, and 30% chance of a 4-star. That's the statistical chances based on Natural Motion's information about that crate.
See, this is my problem with that crate is you have a pretty good chance that you're going to hurt your chances of getting the Prestige Cup car by spending 150 silver keys just to get a random car that probably won't be that great. I mean, save it for the Prestige Cup car, guys. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it.
And for guys that just kind of joined the stream, I'm running the Legend Trials for those wonderful Legend tokens you need to restore your cars. And what I found was that if you never finish Twin Test, you get super easy Legend Trials. As you can see, I just finished the last race here, right? And my this car, this is the Aston Martin. It dyno's a 9.9. I'm running something like a 11.3, and the other guy's running 15s. So you can't get any better than that. This is like the easiest trial you'll ever run.
All right, so somebody just asked is the Aventador SVJ 63 Roadster good for Tempest 1 and 2 Tier 5? If you can get enough parts for that car, that is a very, very nice car. It will make it through Tempest 1, Tempest 2, and Tempest 3 pretty easily if you get the parts. So yes, very, very nice car overall. I'm pretty excited to be getting that one.
It's going to be a great car. The only thing I would warn you about is test run it and see how good it is at the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 sprints before you lock it in for Tempest 2. Tempest 1, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine as long as you're fast enough. But Tempest 2, the only challenges are performance point limited sprints. And if I recall, the SVJ it's a bit of a tire spinner, so I don't know how good it is at sprints. So I would test it before I lock it in, that's all.
Yeah, you can also look it up on YouTube. There's always somebody that's got a maxed out one, like Zukar or somebody has a nice shift pattern for it. And you can see what it does, you know what I mean? That's always a good way to check things out as well. And in most of my videos, there's a link in the description that shows a chart with every single car in the game. And it shows exactly how fast they are. It tells what their 0 to 60, their 0 to 100 times are. And just always always remember, you can usually tune it and make those things a little faster sometimes too. So
yeah, I mean, speaking of that silver key drop rate, since I have the unupdated account, let's take a look at what the gold key drop rate is. It's the same, right? So those 150 silver keys are identical drop rates to the current gold keys and the future gold key drop rate. That tells you a lot.
I wouldn't do that.
We all know how great the gold key drop rate is, don't we? I mean, we love it. 5-star drops every other poll, you know.
Somebody's asking me to give their crew a shout out. Hello to the crew.
I think In Rear 4M Racing wanted a shout out before, so I'm gonna give him a shout out. That's and I got guys that I chat with a lot on Line App that I promised I would not forget them. Orca Cobalt crew, and you know, that's the leader of that crew that's here with us. So shout out to those guys. Great bunch of guys. Wow, I'm giving shout outs. Why don't you give a shout out to your own crew?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So my crew, the Exiled Outlaws, those guys are awesome. those guys and gals, I should say, are very, very awesome. We got a great bunch of players, and I just want to say thanks to my crew for doing an amazing job getting that car every season. Most of the time coming in somewhere between the top 500 and top 1,000 is very, very nice. But yep, you guys are awesome if you're listening.
Yeah, and guys from my crews, the Helena Hitman, Team X Racing. I know I get around a lot. I'm in 3 separate crews, and Luca Black. And now I might actually be mispronouncing my own crew's name, so I really apologize if I am. Wing, if you're here, please correct me if I totally butchered that. But I have 3 accounts on 3 crews, and I don't move around a lot, so I'm not jumping crews, but I've been with these guys. They're great guys, and sometimes they'll come to me for some information and help. So it's a lot of fun, and you guys are all running excellent crews that are collecting the milestone cars. And again, for new players, I always recommend join a good milestone crew. It will change your game. You'll love this game after you do that. So definitely keep that in mind.
Let's see. Danny and Max, what are your favorite Elite Customs cars? I don't know. I mean, they're all pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of really cool cars on there. Like, as far as the Elite Custom stuff itself, I mean, I'm not really into it, honestly. It's nice to be able to change parts around and all that, but it's just hard to get the tokens. Now, once the tuner thing comes out, I think that's going to be part of Elite Customs. I'm probably going to change my mind on that and be like, oh, this is amazing, once you can start really putting body kits and wings and all kinds of stuff. At that point, I might actually like it. But
the Elite Customs, huh?
That's a pretty sweet one right there, and so is the NSX-R. The RX-7 Rocket Bunny is amazing. I mean, there's a lot of really good ones in there that I like so much. It's kind of hard to say which ones are my favorite, honestly. Oh, look, you can buy that for gold right now?
Yes, the RX-7. Whoop, I just jumped out. The RX-7, yes. And I think,
guys, if you got some gold laying around, it might be worth getting that thing.
Well, after they just took away my ability to earn it fast, I'm not so sure.
That's true. That's true. That is kind of expensive,
this is a good car.
I love that thing, but Mazda parts are very, very hard to get.
Yes,
that's the only thing with that
difficult.
Are you going to be able to get the parts for it?
If you're new, by the way, you don't want to start dumping your Mazda parts on random Mazdas, because you're going to need it for that Miata, and that's part of Tempest 3 Tier 1. That's a car you're going to have to max out on fusions. Even though it's a Tier 1, doesn't require much, you don't want to be out of fusions or have to spend gold just to move fusions at that point. So definitely, definitely save those Mazda fusions initially.
Okay, LOL Gamer is in here. He keeps asking, hey, I have 19 gold keys. Should I spend it? I'm pretty sure he's being a troll
better.
right now.
Come on. We've told him multiple times.
Come on, man. Stop trolling us. We know what you're up to over there. But yeah, don't spend your 19 gold keys. Save them up, man. Save them up.
Now, can the
Look, now he's laughing at us. Look, he just wrote LOL. He's laughing.
He knows what he's doing. He knows. But
hey, Ace, what's up, buddy? Ace, the Henna to God. Yeah, I remember you. How you doing? Good to see you again.
All right, we got another question right here. I think I skipped on. See, Tempest 3 Tier 5 using the Corvette C8R. This is from Reiner VD Berg. It can be Harkness and it's Purple Star, but is it better to wait to get my McLaren F1 to get higher RP points? Oh, so you have not, assuming you haven't locked it in on the license, definitely lock in the F1 over the C8R. The extra RP bonus, I mean, that's the one thing we're all waiting for Tempest 4 for, is to lock in our F1s.
How long is it going to take you to get the F1, though? I mean, do you already have the car? I mean, it took me 1.5 years to get that thing.
Yeah, it took me that long, too. I guess that is the balancing act, but The thing is, Tempest. Let's talk about Tempest, right? You don't need to finish Tempest. It's not that important. And if you're gonna save your license for that F1, it probably will be worth it more to do that in the long run than rushing through Tier 5 Tempest just to get Harkness. Because I'll be honest, by the time you get to Harkness, most guys that are at that point have plenty of decent Tier 5 cars. You don't have to get Harkness's Sesto Elemental at that point. But that's just my view on it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you lock in a good live racer and make it elite, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a very marginal amount of extra points from the F1, honestly. I mean, it's nice. It does get a little more, and when you give it the purple stars, I mean, when you give it the elite license, all right, it does get a, what is it, a 10% boost?
10% boost, yep. And that, well, Danny, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on the F1 here, and that's only because I've been using it nonstop this season. And I'm starting to really see the difference that little bit of RP can really make if you're grinding tons and tons of races. If you're doing like, you're 15-30 a day, it doesn't matter, okay? I've been doing about 205 a day, depending on whether I have a wild card or not. Then it really does matter.
That's a lot of races.
200 or 150 per race, it adds up.
Yeah, that is a lot of races, Max.
Well, I've been trying to make myself do like a record season for my own personal trophy case. I'm gonna take a picture, leave it there. Look, Max the Gamer did this one time, and then that's it.
Yeah, I'd get burned out if I did that too much. All right, guys, I just want to take a quick break from our chat here to say thank you all for coming out to the stream. I mean, we really appreciate you guys. It's a little hard to say hello to everybody as they come in because it kind of disrupts what we're doing here. So if we're not saying hello to you guys right away, we really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. It's fun getting to chat with you guys, and you guys really help make this a really awesome channel. Again, Max the Gamer is with me, right? If you guys haven't saw his channel yet, please make sure you go check it out. Max has a great YouTube channel, so if you can, throw him some subs. I don't think this little Streamlabs bot is on, which should be posting a link to his channel every once in a while. So I'm gonna have to go look at that and see if I can turn it on. It looks like it's turned on, but sometimes it doesn't work, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and then turn it back on now. But all you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, we really appreciate you guys coming out. We really do. All right, so let's get back to our rambling on about some CSR2.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you guys with us and asking questions. It really helps us get this stream moving forward. So I see more questions here, Danny. I mean, which one were you on? I don't want to jump too far ahead here.
Well, I didn't have one in mind to answer yet. I got the comments are going kind of fast, so I got to scroll back up through a little bit here.
Let me address one that I saw earlier from Wayne that I do want to touch on. So he asked the question about burnout. And burnout in this kind of a repetitive game is a very real thing. You can get burned out because, you get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over. And that's really what this game is about, doing the same thing repetitively. So if you feel burnout, your best bet is find a crew that works for your level of play. Meaning some crews have much lower requirements than others. So you don't have to do $1.5 million a season. You can go to certain crews and do 600,000 and they'll be happy with you. So go to where you want to be. Don't push yourself beyond your limit. And also, again, communication's important. Let your crew know if you're feeling burnout. Most of the crew leaders, including all my crew leaders, when I tell them, man, I need a break, they say, listen, Max, take a break. Stay in the crew for a season, or you can leave this crew and we'll get you back next season, whatever works for you. So understand it's a game. You have to have fun when you're playing it. So don't do it where it's going to be like work. That's not fun.
Elite GD says the Lotus Evora GT430 is also up for gold, which is another one of those amazing cars.
Whoops, I just clicked the wrong thing. I'm going to go into dealer and look for that. Let's show everybody real quick.
Wait a second. Someone just said the music is too loud. I mean, it's such a low volume right now. It's.
I think it depends on the earphone or whatever they're listening to. It could come over a little difficult to hear what we're saying.
Currently, I can't turn down the music anymore. It goes on mute. That's how low I have it. Like the little volume bar on my
they
media.
can't even hear it, so so it could be. I don't know. I really don't know.
I think someone's trolling us. It was a little. Oh no! Here comes the yeah again.
Oh no! It's coming.
But yeah, I had it a little bit louder earlier, and someone asked to turn it down, and I could see how it might have been a little loud for some people, but now I turned it way down. This song especially is pretty quiet. But yeah, these are Voras. These are amazing cars.
Now, Lotus Evora is a good car. If you have the extra gold, I mean, I'll be honest. I usually save the 3950 for tier 5s, not the tier 4 cars. Not because I don't like this car. I love this car, but you know, I don't have that much gold to spend, and then you have to calculate when you're going to spend something as big as 3950. That could take months for me to save up. So, you know, for a tier 4 car, this is a very good car, but you have to be sure you have
destroyer.
Parts, stage 6s and other things before you dump that
That's
kind of
true
gold.
too. That's a great car for getting through Tempest 4 or Tempest 3 tier 4 though.
Yes, it does. It actually gets through the whole thing. Actually, speaking of Tempest, while we're on that topic, I know this is a question that gets asked a lot, and we haven't, because they keep changing things, it's hard to stay updated. So I'm going to give you guys a little tidbit right now, and that is all the cars that I'm aware of that can beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 without having to switch, okay? Because there are quite a few of those that can do that. Let me go ahead and pull up my little list here, and then we can tell you exactly what cars that I've confirmed that can do this. And Lotus Evora is on that list. That's one of the ones on that list. And of course, now that I'm looking for the list, I'm not finding it. I know that the Bentley BR9 is one of the ones on the list as well. Let's see.
Wait, a Bentley?
Yeah, we can't get that now. That's the Fast and Furious Bentley Tier 4.
Oh, yeah, that one's awesome actually.
Yeah, that's a great car. I never bought that, but I've raced them plenty, and I know they're very good. Okay, so you know, you know what I'm doing wrong? I'll pull the list up right now. I'm sorry. I have to do it from in here.
Someone's asking if the new Tier 5 Supra is going to be any good. Well, I don't really have any info on that car yet, so I can't really answer that one. Sorry.
I suspect it's not going to be bad because isn't it one of the ones that you can sort of elite upgrade?
I think it is, actually. I think it's going to be part of the custom tuners deal.
Yeah, I think so too. So, all right, so let's talk about that list real quick. I got it in front of me now. One of the first ones I want to mention, because it's coming up, is the Aim Game GT NSX. That can beat the entire Tempest 3 Tier 4 if you build it enough. And we got a Golden Cup coming up next season. If you got that car, or you can get that car built, that's a hell of a car. In fact, I do have it on this account because it was also a milestone car. Yeah,
hold on a second. Hanzo Sin Snips is not modding the game. Alright. He had a lot of bronze keys and bought a lot of bronze crates to get all the parts for that car, bud. Alright, he's not modding just because he has a maxed out car. I mean, there's plenty of times where I saved my bronze keys for several months and maxed out a milestone prize car that we got in a couple of days. So it's all about saving those silver keys for a long time until you get what you want. So nope, he's not a modder.
All right.
Good friend of mine, actually.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't see that comment, but yeah, I mean, saving bronze keys now the trick to max out cars. If you and you want to spend it smart. If you save up 30,000-40,000 bronze keys, with some luck, you can almost max out a T4 like this one during an event. I'm not saying you're going to max it out just with random pulls. You have to have event crates, and you're still leveraging the event more than you're using the keys. These are just to fill out the final missing pieces. But here's the Aim Game GT. This is one of the cars that will get through Tempest 3 Tier 4, the entire thing. The Bentley BR9 we mentioned, the Lotus Evora we mentioned. All right, so I'm just going to run through the rest of the list real fast because we don't want to spend too much time on that. M5 Competition, my top choice for this, because it does everything well, and it doesn't need that many stage 6s. Nissan GTR Nismo in Attack, one of my top choices. Again, don't need a lot of parts, easy to get fusions. The recent car, that's not a milestone, it's also a gold key car, the Porsche 959. Danny, you got that car, right?
Yeah.
That's a good car.
It's a dyno beater, man. It's a great live racer. Love it.
And it'll beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 without switching. TBR Griffiths, current season PC car. If you got it, build it if you have the keys. Because that car also, you don't need fully maxed. It will beat Tempest 3 Tier 4, the entire thing. I know it looks like that Griffiths will have a hard time getting that 260 mile per hour. It's actually not as hard as it may look. Now, once we get past those, that RX-7 Rocket Bunny for $39.50, fully maxed, it too can also beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 without switching. Your Jaguar XE-SV Project 8, another car that can do it. The Ford GT Tier 4, need to be pretty much fully maxed, but because of the last sprint, but it can do it. Dodge Charger Hellcat, the Tier 4, that can do the job as well. That little Nissan, I think I scrolled by it, the orange color one that we got as a milestone at some point, or was it? Now that I want to see it, I can't find it. There's a Nissan Z33 Fairlady Z Rocket Bunny. That car will also do the job. So after that, you start to look at all these Fast and Furious cars. I'm not going to really get into them too much, but the Eclipse, obviously, the Lancer Evo from Fast and Furious, that can beat it as well pretty easily. And then finally, this HPE Mustang 750 can also do it. So that's your short list of cars that can beat the entire event without switching. If you don't have those cars and you don't have them built, you're probably going to have to switch. You're going to use 2 cars at least to get through.
Okay, so Smoothie wants to know. He's got a Roush Mustang Stage 3, the Stage 3 Roush Mustang. He's stuck on Tempest 2, and he's wondering if he should strip more Fords to get parts for that. Or
Roush Mustang sounds
get
familiar.
a different
Let me
car.
look for mine. See if on this account I have it built or not. I
Good,
think his
'cause I can't
problem
remember.
is that he selected for Tempest 2 because that's all sprints. And if I recall, that car is not that quick off the line.
I'm not really familiar with that one. I remember I didn't like that car.
It's a dyno beater, so it's actually a good live race. Oh, here it is. Oh, gee. 23 Evo. That's not looking good for me. I won't be using this to demonstrate much. Let me take a look here. Oh, no, wait. Actually, I must have it set up for something. That's why it's all messed up like that. Ford Fusions are usually not that hard to get. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
the Fusion parts.
fitted.
Now, I don't know if this shares parts with other Mustangs. I kind of don't think that it does.
Not the Stage 6s, no, just the Fusions. All right, so the problem with the Roush, and I happen to missing something relatively important for sprints, and that's the Tire S6 and the Trans S6. Without those Stage 6s, it's not one of the cars that's easy to beat sprints. I mean, if you take a look at it, we'll go ahead and... So if you're doing a 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 sprint, you're looking at that kind of numbers. That's not that bad when it's this upgraded, but I remember in Tempest 2, the difficult one is a 699 performance point limit, and you have to do like a 1.8 or 1.7 0 to 60. That's pretty tough. I think if I had to lower the upgrades, that's going to be a tough one to hit. So that could be why you're stuck. Not that this car is impossible to do it, but you don't have the right stage 6s. You're not going to get them unless it's by random luck, so you may have to think about switching.
Let's see if that shares stage 6 parts with anything real quick. I think it has its own, unfortunately.
I think it's unique to it as well.
Stage 6 for Fords. There's the HP.
Let's go to Ford.
Premium.
Stage 6.
Yeah, it's got its own stage 6 parts, and I have 0. And unfortunately, it does not share stage 6 parts, so if you do strip other Mustangs, you can get fusions, but you're not going to get any stage 6 parts for that car by stripping other Mustangs.
Yeah, here, I got some dupes too, but yeah, I'm missing the 2 that I kind of don't have access to yet. And you're not likely to get them unless this car gets used in an event. So, yeah, I'm sorry to say you might be stuck switching.
Generally, my advice would be wait till you have a car that's fast enough before you lock it in, because it's so hard to get parts for the majority of the cars in this game unless there's a part crate available and you have the keys or money to buy the keys that you need. So it's always best to wait. It's always best to wait, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is the Porsche 911...
Okay, so that was Smoothie's question. Let's see what's the next one on the list.
Is the Porsche 911...
I know Thomas has been asking about car management. Now, I don't know if he's talking about managing the garages or actually managing what cars to build. That's 2 different topics, but I guess we can touch on both. What do you think, Danny? What's a easier topic to start with? Managing the cars or managing the garages?
Well, I'll tell you, managing your garages is a nightmare, so that might be the worst one to start with.
Yeah. The garage shifting, the biggest problem with garage shifting is if you do it this way, where you just jump 2-3 garages and then you dump the car, what happened is the guy that was right there goes right to the spot where your car started. So you get like a bunch of cars that get jumped to the other spot. So what you need to do is, if you're going to organize your garage and you want to move a car, you literally, to be safe, has to do it one garage at a time like this, where you're bumping the order of the cars down as you go down the garage. And then when you finally let go and put the car somewhere, everything else stays in the order they were in. They don't get thrown all over the place. That's the one. And imagine going through 80 garages of cars trying to organize them when they start off as a major mess. That can take hours and hours to do. So it's pretty difficult to manage. And I get tired of doing it. So let me make sure we're talking about the right management here for Thomas.
I think these guys can hear me installing parts on my car. I just got the last stage 6 to max on my LB Aventador coupe.
Ooh.
Nice.
The final stage 6. We might have to jump over to your account and take a look at that.
Yeah, we could do that in a minute. Right now I'm installing the rest of the fusions that I have. I don't know if I have enough fusions to max it out though, but I'm going to try. I really like this car.
This is literally how I actually move my cars in the garage, to put them all in the same spot. And notice I haven't even really organized the individual tiers, but the problem is the issue of jumping around for the cars as you bump them. It doesn't stop. Now, once you do this, you can also organize your garage like I did on my main account, would be by alphabetical order of the makes. That makes it easier sometimes to find the cars. God knows there are cars I just can't find when I need them.
That's very true.
Yeah, when you have a lot of garages, you can't find anything. All right. Lego Star Maxi asked this question more than once, so I wanted to hit this. He has a 911 GT2 RS. If it's the WYSIC package that we got, the Purple Star one, it is a decent live racer, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's awesome. That 959 Tier 4 Porsche, that's awesome live racer. The TBR Griffith, that's an awesome live racer. But that T5 GT2 RS is decent. So it's still a dyno beater, and it is not bad. And I see them in live lobbies all the time. But again, it's kind of a medium car, not a great car. Okay.
Yeah, it's decent, but nothing special, I would say. I was actually looking at that earlier, so I'm glad you answered that one.
Yeah, and speaking of live racing, that TVR Griffith is an interesting car because one is that it's such high evo car that it automatically lobbies very favorably. Anytime I take it into lobby, I'm already my dyno is already better than what most people are running in there. And on top of that, that car's funny because if you upgrade it to certain levels, it'll beat dyno by another 210. So that's, very, very difficult to beat in live in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing with it. Speaking of that car, let's go take a look at it real quick. So, I'm still reading questions at the same time, so bear with me here. I'm a little... Multitasking is not one of my strong points. Well, actually,
mine neither.
Sort of my strong point.
All right. So I got a dyno of a 8.0 on the Aventador Coupe. I don't even know if I have this thing tuned right.
What do you have on the Aventador? I'm sorry.
1,900 on the Evo and a 8.0 something on the dyno.
Oof. That's a lot of Evo. That's good though.
I think it's faster than that. I would have to. I'm kind of feeling too lazy to mess with it, but I probably should. Maybe we can tune a car. Maybe I'll tune a car on the stream here and show people my little method. I have a couple of videos on it, but people do like to see some stuff like that sometimes. Is the Aventador good? The 3-star version of the Aventador is not very good. The LB Aventador is great. And I know the SVJ version is really good. I'm not sure about the plain old SV one though. Is that one good? Do you know, Max?
The regular Aventador SV is not good. Unfortunately, these older Aventadors are not the good cars. The ones that are good are the new LB ones and some of the more recent Lamborghinis.
It's kind of a bummer. Like some of the cars on this game that look so cool, and you're just like, oh, I would love to upgrade this, and then you find out it's not super awesome.
Yeah, that's always kind of a real pain when that happens. Now, I'm going to use this Griffiths real quick in live. By taking out that nitrous, I just dropped it to about a 10.5 dyno. In fact, let's go ahead and look at it real quick so we know what we're going in with. I'm just showcasing this simply because it's such a good live racer. I just can't resist.
Cool.
Now, 10.5 is a good lobby. A lot of tough competition in SXRs, F40s, a bunch of Tier 5 cars at this point. Remember, I'm not updated, so if you're taking this moment to try to find me, and you are updated, you're not going to find me. So keep that in mind. A lot of NSXs. Here you go. Here's a guy with the that Porsche that we just mentioned. Okay. I'm not sure that's a nice name there, but I'll kind of let that go. Wingnut. All right. So I am taking on another Griffith. So in theory, we should be pretty well matched, but the reality is if I have more fusions or different stage 6s, we could be dynoing the same thing and the cars could run completely different. So let's go ahead and take them on. And as you can see, the tune is slightly different because I am ahead of him, but he is keeping up. Now I'm taking off on him, so I'm going to slow down. And right there. So Griffiths versus Griffiths doesn't always play out exactly how you think. It really depends on your parts, your stage 6s, and exactly how your car is tuned to work. But generally, this car is very good in these lobbies. You really can't go wrong with it. I love this car. So let's see. Questions. All right, so Voltec K asked the question, what is better between BMW Z4 M40i without any stage 6 full fusion and the Amelia LB M4 fully maxed? That's a tough question, but the Z4 M40 is such a fast car that it is running, I think, 8s just with stage 5 full fusion. And Amelia's is 8.2 and change fully maxed, so they're not really in the same bracket at that point. But if I were to use a car for Tempest, I would say definitely the M40i is probably my go-to car. But it is a little bit harder to shift than Amelia's car, so it's kind of depends on what is better for you. You have to figure out which one you prefer.
Yeah, both really cool cars, but I also agree the Z4 M40i is definitely a little bit of a better car.
Yeah, the Z4 M40i, it's a great car for Tempest because it'll beat Tempest 3 Tier 3 boss without any stage 6s, so you can't go wrong. In fact, that's a car I already set up on my newest account as my choice. Oh, so I just raced somebody's Juke. Good race there, buddy. Good race. So this is kind of the things that you want to look at. If the car can beat things easier without stage 6, I always favor them over cars that require stage 6s because you never know which stage 6s you end up getting. Okay, I'm gonna race this guy because he said so. I don't want to be that guy, so I'm gonna race him. Of course, I can't connect to him.
Black, you gotta let go of the gas a little later. You don't want to get a perfect start on that one, so let go of the gas slightly before launch, and then instantly shift into second and then third, I believe, and then hit your nitrous.
All right, someone else must have challenged them. Let me race someone else. Let's see. Here's another Griffiths, so that should be an interesting race. Let's go ahead and do this one.
Yeah, a lot of those Lambos don't like perfect starts.
Oh, the LB needs a late start. I think the Scion Roadster, which actually is a very good Lambo, I think it also doesn't like exactly on perfect. It's a little sensitive about it.
Rel, I'm actually checking out this LB Aventador I just maxed out to see what kind of time it's running. And when Max is done showing you this here, we'll switch over to mine and do a couple of test runs on it.
All right. Just as a final tidbit, you guys see my live races that I did with this car so far, and you know that it's basically I've been running kind of close to where I dyno, and even with that, it looks like it's pretty competitive in this lobby. So I'm just going to do one final run in the dyno to show you what this car actually can run if you push it hard. Okay, and this is part of the reason why I really like this car. Because it lobbies so well, I do not even need to run under my dyno to really get, you know, a decent, easy win for the most part. All right, here we go. Hopefully I don't botch this, so. Okay, so I'm not going into third immediately like you do, Danny, because the car's not fully maxed. But it is a very quick car, even with just these upgrades. All right, so that's not the lowest I've gotten at, but that's pretty much, you can see that it can easily beat dyno on top of the fact it already lobbies so well against other opponents. So again, a very good car all around. If you're only missing a few parts, you know, pull a few crates, get it up. Again, this is also a car that can easily do Tempest 3 Tier 4. All right, Danny, let's jump to your account and take a look at that LB. I love looking at that car.
Okay, real quick, BBY Sting says, what happens to the Tier 3 Supra and the 2017 GTR Elite Tuner if you had them before? I imagine they just switch over to the Elite Tuners thing. What, you think so, Max?
Yeah, they just add that as an option. Like, we know that, for example, a lot of these cars that are now Elite, even the DA Corvette wasn't a Elite car before. They just add the option. So I don't really see that affecting the car. You'll get them a little faster and you can customize them a little bit more.
All right, guys. So we got the LB Aventador Coupe. I've got the nitrous all the way up to the top, all the way over to the right. I got the final drive down at 2.0, and we got our tire pressure around 26 psi. And this is completely maxed out. I just got the last part I needed, and this is actually a really awesome car. I'll show you guys how to drive this thing really quickly. So it's got an 8.077 on the dyno, and what we're gonna do to drive this is we're gonna let go of the gas sometime between 1 and go. You don't want to get a perfect start. You want the needle to be a little bit to the right hand side of the perfect start when you launch. If you actually end up with a perfect, so if you hit right on that green right there, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get a whole bunch of wheel spin. You want to launch somewhere between 7 and 8,000 RPMs. All right, pretty much instantly shift into second and then right into third, and then hit your nitrous on fourth for this one. And this is a great dyno busting live racer, so let's give this one a go. See how whoops, I hit nitrous in the wrong gear, but see how I launched a little bit late? That's what you got to do on this one to avoid all the wheel spin and the sticky gears and all that stuff.
Yeah, so that's right there we got a car, and a few Lamborghinis like it that way too, like to be launched that way.
I should have ran a 7.8, but I hit my nitrous in the wrong gear. You can see on the last run I had a 7.850, and that's beating dyno by quite a bit, which is really, really nice. So this is a really, really good car for a lot of things. I like this one a lot, especially in this crazy color here. So
yeah, I mean, there are some cars that'll have. I see Eclavia's comment about maxed out and less than 2,000 Evo. Yes, there are a lot of cars now with over 2,000 Evo maxed. But again, you know, high Evo is always a good thing. But this car is not low Evo either. This is a good car all around. You can actually hit like 1,800 Evo with much lower upgrades too. So it's a competitive car in a lot of different lobbies.
Might as well take this one into a couple of live races and see how it does. How much do we make per season? I generally make between 1.2 and 1.5 every season. How about you, Max?
I'm about the same on average, 1.2 to 1.5. I've done a few two mil seasons here and there. Right now I'm trying to do a 4 mil season on one of my accounts. That's why I'm going so crazy on that one live racing thing. Yeah,
that would be cool to hit that kind of points, but
yeah, I've just never like to say I'm able to do it.
There was one season where I was like, I'm gonna do that. The first like 2 or 3 days I raced like crazy, and then I was like, oh, I'm already getting burned out, so I backed off. All right, let's find somebody to race. I want to find someone who doesn't have a swap thing, because I'm really not in the mood to swap right now. Everybody's got a swap thing. Except for me. Let's see. That's the problem with these fast cars. If you're not in the mood to swap, in these faster lobbies, almost everybody wants to swap, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's and they're more consistent about swapping too. In the faster lobbies, you won't get a lot of, quote, guys that cheat you out of swaps. They tend to be pretty consistent. They're there to swap. So you'll be okay. And the faster the lobby, the more consistent you'll find good swappers.
Albert's asking, what is swapping?
Oh, okay. All right. You want me to explain that one?
Yeah, go for it.
Since you're concentrating on racing. All right. So the concept of swapping basically says that 2 players go into the lobby and race. Whoever wins then automatically loses the next race, and you alternate back and forth. So you're swapping wins. That's the concept. Instead of demanding to win each race, you're basically saying, look, man, give me one, I give you one. It's kind of a gentleman's agreement. There's no rule for this. This came about not because you have to do it, but because the game used to punish us for winning. They would push you into faster and faster lobbies for winning. So a lot of players learned that by swapping, we actually kept the cars more competitive. So we do it for that reason. And also it's a quicker way to make RP. Because as you can see, Danny is struggling to get one race. He just needs one race for those keys. And we've been watching him going back and forth looking for somebody. Right? When you're swapping, it's very quick. So that's the advantage of swapping as well.
Normally when I run tier 4 cars or slower, I don't swap, but generally when I run my tier 5 cars, I do swap, but I'm not in the mood for swapping today, so.
Yeah, and again, the whole point of this game comes back to RP. You want to make RP, right?
Oh.
And the way to make that is in live racing. So, or showdown, but you got to win in showdown too. So swapping is a quick way to make those RPs. Oh, did you get them? Oh,
those races are the best. Those are the best when you just have no idea who won till it tells you, you know.
1,000s. You beat him by 1,000s.
Yeah, he must have had his maxed out too.
Oh yeah. That thing was moving.
How'd he get into that color though? Have you ever seen that?
Top 10 car.
Oh, Racer refused. He must have changed his mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he earned that, but not many of us have that one. I don't know if they ever sold that car though. I think maybe they did, but I can't remember now.
I've never actually seen that one in that color. I've seen the other one, the red Spider-Man, but not the blue Spider-Man. Interesting.
No, that one is the one that when this car first came out as a milestone car, that was the top 10 crew one.
Oh, that was Black. Black, were you in the Porsche or were you in the Lambo? I was racing Black. Oh, crap. Did you see the lag spike? Probably not, because, well, there's only a few second delay now, but that lag spike killed me.
Uh-oh.
My car didn't even launch. What a bummer.
Boy. That deserves a re-challenge, right?
Yeah, really.
You got to re-challenge on that one.
Those lag spikes, man, they'll get you sometimes. All right, let's try that again. This time I'm going to win. Hey, that rhymed. Someone just asked something about beating something in Tempest with a rocket bunny.
Let me look it up. Hold on.
I didn't quite catch the question as it scrolled by. There we go. We stopped. Wait, he let me win that time. He must want to swap.
Let's see.
You can hear that echo?
I'm not hearing an echo on. Let me see. Hold on.
My cell phone's actually on in the background. I didn't think anybody could hear that. All right.
No, I'm not hearing that. All right. So, Rinier said that his LB Aventador loses as soon as he puts on more stage 6s, but if he leaves it at 9.1s, he gets wins. Why would that be? Because it most likely it's the same situation a lot of people run into. If your performance point is high and your Evo points ratio to performance points is low, your car is less competitive. So a lot of cars have a kind of a sweet spot where it has really high Evo without having all the performance points put in, and it can do wondrous things in live. I call it the low performance point high Evo cars, or low performance point high Evo setup. Very good, always something you want to take a look at. And Wing, I actually addressed about burnout a little bit. I think the key management of burnout is to kind of talk to your crew and take a back seat on playing. You really, there are days when you just need a break, and your crew should understand why. And most good crews will support you, give you a few seasons where you just make minimum and kind of, cruise along, no pun intended. But
yeah,
that's what you need. So
I just don't play anywhere near as much when I start to get burned out. I mean, there's times where it's just like I barely do anything for a while. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do like the bare minimum this season, and I still bust my million RP when I do it. So even when I'm burned out and I'm slacking, I still hit my million. But that's all you really need to do is just step back, maybe take a slow season. Just only do as much as you have to when you have one of those seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative to how much you normally play. I've seen guys that used to be in top crews. They come to my crew and say, hey, I want to run with you guys for a season. I need a break. And then they bust out like a 3 million run in the season. I'm going, that's your break, dude? I can't even reach that. So, you know, it depends on the person and how much they normally play.
Mr. Poopy had some sort of question, but can I beat Tempest 3 with the Tier 2 Rocket Bunny Miata? There is... Oh, yeah, you sure can. That is a awesome car. You don't even need that many fusions, if I remember correctly, right, Max?
For which one? The Tier 2 GTI?
No, the Miata. The Miata.
Oh, the Miata. Oh, yeah. The Miata. Ooh, I'm watching you race. I was a little distracted. The Miata can beat Tempest 3 Tier 2 without any Stage 6s. But then you need full fusions. So it's that good.
I'm having a really hard time multitasking, racing, and paying attention today. It's one of them days. I'm just feeling so run down today. I'm just like, ugh. So, like, it's very hard to do both right now.
Yeah, it gets like that. It does get like that. When you have a long week and then you get to the end of the week, you just want to sleep. Hey,
yeah.
I got a few guys, I think, from my crew in here. So
Cool.
Oh yeah, so this is funny, Diddy. I have to say this. He's laughing about it right now in the chat. He said, "I'm sorry, Max," and he's got big old laughters. You know why? I was taking it easy last 2 seasons, and then I invited this guy into my crew, new player, very motivated, great player, and he puts up like 2.5 million. So I'm looking at it and go, well, I can't be number 2 to a guy who just joined my crew, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing this season.
You know, on my crew, I used to always be in the hangar for the top 5, you know? I'd go into the crew hangout, and I was always in there. And now there's, like, all these guys that come in that just beat the crap out of my score. And I kind of feel like showing them up every once in a while, but I'm just like, but that's the problem, is I do start getting the burnout, so... I mean, I've been playing for almost 4 years now, and it's just like... I don't know, it's not worth getting the burnout to earn a crap load of points, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out. I mean, it's fun to have a little friendly competition within the crew, but burnout is definitely not fun. And that's burnout in anything, you know, any game or even work. That's not a good feeling to have.
Pretty much any game I've ever played, if I'm on it too much, I get burned out. I don't care what the game is. Maybe like the first couple months or the first year, you can play all the time, but if you overdo it, you are going to get sick of it. So hopefully everybody takes breaks when they need it. I think a lot of people end up quitting games over burnout, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Mr. Poopy here is having trouble with 0 to 60 with that Mazda. You might want to hit me up separately after the stream. I can see what I can do to help you tune it. But without knowing more details about your car, it's very hard for me to just tell you why you're having issues with it.
You almost
and
have
Alex
to...
Anderson also had a question, Danny, about the 911 Cabriolet. That'll beat the sprints. I mean, the speed traps, but not the sprints.
Yeah, that's the one problem with a lot of those cars, is they can do one or the other. Not too many Tier 4 cars can beat the speed traps and the sprint races. There's a handful that can, but...
if you're just jumping in now, I actually read off a list of cars that can beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 by itself earlier. So you can always later on watch the stream back in the beginning part of it. We kind of talked about the whole list of cars that can do the entire thing. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing another guy here saying I almost stopped playing because of burnout. Listen, this is a very repetitive game, and if you're not having fun and you feel pressure because you're trying to make RP for your crew limit, it can become like work. And as fun as some jobs are, you just don't feel the same when you're working at something too much. So again, I play this game to relax and have fun. I don't want it to turn into work. And you got to manage that, because once it turns to work, you're going to want to quit.
I mean, I've had people invite me to join really top crews that get the Purple Star cars every season. And I'm just like, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to commit to any more than 800,000 per season. Even though I usually make 1 or 1.5 every season, it's just I don't want to feel pressured. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just don't want to feel pressured. I want to yeah, like Max says, I want to enjoy it. I just want to kick back, have a little fun racing these things, but I don't want to feel like I'm obligated to go all out, you know.
Yeah, and I think Kunye asked about what do we mean by burnout. I forget that not everybody is from English-speaking countries, and we're using terms that may not apply to everyone the same way. We're talking about playing so much that you literally get so tired of playing that you start to feel the game's no fun. That's what we mean when we're talking about burnout with playing too much.
Yeah, the top 10, I think it is, right? Gets the purple star cars every season. The top 10 crews.
Well, those guys, that's like a military regiment you're part of. I mean, they have
it's crazy.
Own, yeah, that's crazy. I can't. My work schedule would get in the way of that too. So, you know, but you really can have a lot of fun being in a milestone crew making 600K minimums, because really your garage will grow so quick from getting a PC car and a milestone car every season that after a year you're going to have easily 100 cars in your garage. I mean, it's really that's why I keep saying just join a milestone crew and then learn how to play the live racing a little bit. Swap if you have to. Just make the points, earn the cars, and then, you know, learn to start tuning and really get to the finer, more interesting aspects of the game, which is tuning to win, which is always fun. So
yeah, so any crew who gets over 20 million per season, that crew wins the golden star car, but anybody in the top 10 gets the purple star version. So that's kind of how that works, just in case you didn't know. Is the new silver crate worth saving, Phil? No, not really. We were talking about that earlier as well. Oh man, I messed up.
Vasa Pop makes a good point that you should always find a crew where you're going to enjoy the people in there. In the end, I am playing this game for 4 years because I enjoy the crews and the members of the crews. You know, we BS with each other in the chats. That makes it almost as much fun separately from the game that keeps me in this. So yeah, a good crew is a big part of enjoying the game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to enjoy your crewmates, you know. I mean, I really enjoy most of the people in my crew. I mean, they're great people to talk to. We have a lot of fun, you know. It's a great crew. If you don't like the people in your crew or they're trying to push you way too hard, you might want to look into finding a new one. That's what I have to say about it. Is the new silver crate worth it though? BBY Sting, no. I would not spend your silver keys on that because honestly, it's going to take away from your keys to get the Prestige Cup cars. So I don't really think it's the best way to go, honestly.
Yeah, I mean some cars. The new silver. Oh, he's talking about the new silver pole. Yeah, definitely not. I can tell you how many wonderful 3 stars I've gotten from gold key poles, and it's using the same exact metric. So unless you're missing 3-star cars as a newer player and you have enough silver to burn, see it's always a problem because if you're new, you're not going to have enough silver keys to burn. By the time you have enough silver keys to burn, you should be in a milestone crew and have some decent cars already. So you never really win.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I've over the last 4 years, I've been able to save up about 9,000 keys. But I think about it this way: if I had 4 or 5 seasons in a row where it took me all 15 tries, I would blow through a lot of those. So I don't care how many you have saved up. I feel like you never really have any extra to burn if your goal is to get the Prestige Cup car every season.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. You know, this game is very resource intensive, but they don't give it to you very fast. So it's all about saving. So Rail85 asked, did I join a crew well, I don't know about you, Danny, but he asked both of us, did we join a crew or made one when you started the game?
Well, I actually joined one, and then for some reason I decided, oh, wait, no. I joined a crew and I noticed there was me and like one other guy were the only people earning points. So I was in that crew for about 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, and then I joined another crew called the Orlando Outlaws and really got to know the people there. There was about 15 of us who really did a good job. And we kind of struggled, though. For about a year, we struggled. There was 15 really good players, and then everybody else was just like coming in and out, and we were having a lot of problems. But it eventually turned into the crew that I'm in right now. So the guy who's the leader, me and him became good friends. He got to the point where he was working like 17, 18-hour days, and he has to travel all the time. And eventually he handed the crew over to me until he doesn't have until he's not so busy anymore. So my first real crew was my first like decent crew has turned into my current crew. So I've been there forever.
Yeah, when I started, there was no milestone crews. Okay, the milestone didn't exist yet. So at the time, I joined a random crew, just like any new player would. I'm being totally clueless about what's going on. Well, I decided to join a crew that had absolutely nobody active, and eventually they were so inactive, I ended up being the leader of that crew. So, because the leader just one day disappeared. And then eventually I had to just leave that crew. When I left is when the milestone was first introduced. When I read about the rules and I read how it worked, I said, you know what? I don't care what I have to do. I'm joining a milestone crew. I want that car. I've never looked back. I've been with the Helena Hitman probably for 4 years now. So I've been with the same crew. And Team X Racing, which actually came from, most of the players came from another crew. We've been together at least 3 years. So, I've been with both my crews a long time, and I love the guys in there. I love racing with them. So, and I love the game. I'm enjoying myself still quite a bit.
Now, my crew may or may not have a few spots open for next season. Usually the last day of each season, I make a crew recruitment video, and if my crew needs somebody, I'll give some instructions on there for how to apply to it. But we might need 2 or 3 people for next season. Not 100% sure yet, but if we do, I will let you guys know on that crew recruitment video that I make.
Yeah, and I'm reading Daniel 420 Gaming's comment. None of my crew are putting in any effort. Daniel, move on. I'm telling you, a crew is only fun to be part of when the crew works and everybody's on the same level. And I'm not saying everybody's going to be on the same level, but everybody's at least trying. So you want to go out there and find a milestone crew. You could either ask in Facebook, Reddit, World Chat, just ask for milestone crew and go somewhere else. And another thing, guys, if you join a milestone crew, you're going to get crew cups done. When you're in a dead crew, none of these crew cups ever get done, and you don't get all those bonus points. So don't be afraid of 600k minimum. We said that at our last stream, and I'm repeating it again. It's not hard to hit 600k crew points. It's actually very easy.
Yeah. Like, my crew generally requires 700,000 per season. We require people to have the line app because your crew has to have some sort of good outside communication, or it's probably not going to do very well. We don't let people... We have a strict wild card schedule, so we don't let people activate the wild cards. Just stuff like that. We don't have a whole lot of rules or regulations. We just... we have a few simple things like that, and that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of really strict crews that will just stomp on you and just, they're not fun to be in. So, like at ours, we try and keep it laid back and fun for the most part.
Yeah,
there's a lot of...
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of fun, laid back crews out there, but there's also a lot of crews that seem like they're ran by Hitler.
Well, I mean, it's personalities too, right? I click with the guys that are in my crew. We're all kind of the same personality. We all enjoy the game the same way, and we share some other interests outside of the game too. So the chat becomes really fun. If it's not fun for you in a crew because the way it's run or the personalities clash, in the end, you got to find the one that is fun. That's what's going to keep you really enjoying the game. So don't be afraid to shop around a little. I mean, this is a free game. Nobody's saying that you must stick with the crew. Loyalty has to be earned, not given outright. I joined the crew. I became loyal to the crew because they were loyal to me, and everybody liked each other. So that's how things play out. And you definitely want to find a good crew. I can't emphasize that enough.
So I'm about to do one of these crew cups right now, guys. Luckily, I didn't get to this earlier. It looks like we've already done all 50 races, so all I got to do is one more race, and I get these tokens for the wild card and a stage 6 for my Griffin. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now.
Is it going to be a duplicate stage 6? What's everybody's call on that? Because I'm calling duplicate. Sorry,
I bet you $10 million. I bet you $10 million that it's going to be a duplicate. If not, I'll be amazed.
I mean, if you don't get a duplicate, I'll be very happy for you. But I have to say, chances the duplicate's very high.
Yep, it almost always is, unfortunately.
It's a bummer. I mean, considering we only have 3 chances, really, ultimately, to get free stage 6s for this card, it really sucks when you get 3 duplicates in some seasons.
Well, let's go find out. Now, I did hit the 1,300 trophies on that showdown to get a stage 6, and at the time, I only had 1 stage 6 installed on the car, and guess what? It gave me a duplicate. I was so bummed out.
I'm telling you, yeah, my 1,300 was a duplicate too. So, yeah. All right, click, and then we'll go look at your car. Oh, man. I hope it's not. I really hope it's not.
Oh, man. My garages are empty again. Which car? Crap, which car was that?
Griffith.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta find this thing. Alright, it's somewhere in all my tier 4 cars. Every single garage is this. I hate when this happens. Alright. Where is this thing at? Where is this thing at? Alright, I'm not going to pay attention to the comments for a minute, guys. I got to look through all these blank cars. It's so much harder to find it when you can't see the picture. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? It's hiding.
Oh, stop. No, those are 2 other cars. I saw the 6s. I thought I was hoping it's the right one.
Where are you? Where are you? I'll be amazed if it's not a duplicate, though. Somehow I missed it. We're back into the tier 3 cars, so... What? I hate doing this. You sure it's not at the
end of the garages? Because it is a new... well, you might have gotten it as a milestone, right?
You're right. You're right. No, I've had that for a long time. No, I did. I stripped the one that I had, and I kept the new one. So, yeah. Good call. It's all the way at the end.
There we go.
Hey, it's not a duplicate.
I see a 6. I see a 6.
I just lost $1 million. Is that what I said? $1 million?
I'll send you my PayPal later.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no good way to edit your garages quickly. It's a big nightmare. It's a big nightmare. I can't believe how many parts I've got. I didn't think I was going to get very many. Whoa, I got 2? Where did that come from?
Did you run the PC Cup? You should have gotten one from that.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
And they're both decent ones, actually. And you got the top one, too, the body. So
this is good. This is good.
Yeah, you got all the good ones.
All right. I'll go ahead and install them. Sweet. I really thought I was going to struggle beating this Prestige Cup because parts for this thing are so rare. And somehow I got a crap load of parts for this thing, and I don't know how. I mean, I'm blown away.
That's a good problem to have. I like that problem.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting to have like 30 parts in this car by the time this Prestige Cup ended and not be able to beat it. Oh, I got more blue parts. The game's just throwing me TVR parts like crazy. I mean, this never happens. There was only one.
We got that showdown crate right now. That's probably part of it.
That definitely helps. But I can only remember one other new car that I got that like parts were rare for that I got almost maxed out this quickly. Nice. This normally doesn't happen.
How many fusions do you have? Can you just check that real quick? I'm just
84.
curious.
84. That's
Wow,
pretty good.
That's good.
I was expecting to have like 30 or 40 by now.
Yeah, that's really good actually.
See, what's my tune like on this one? All right, tires.
Yeah, that
okay.
body stage 6 actually can make or break some people's PC cup because it drops your time by 0.5. So
Nice.
on my newest account, it went from 11.6 to 11.1 with that one stage 6.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely the top stage 6 for this car.
Yeah, it's amazing how sometimes one stage 6 will do so much, and sometimes other ones. I remember when I was upgrading my GTR, I could have swore there was a couple stage 6 that made it slower or did nothing.
there are a few stage 6s that'll give you like less than a tenth, hundredths of a second. You can't even feel that when you're driving it. You're like, what? It doesn't feel any faster. So
now we're at a 10.3 on the dyno for this guy. So that's not too bad. 1700 on the Evo up there.
oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a competitive lobby, and for tier 4s in there, you're mostly going to be facing some of the faster ones, NSXRs, LBNSX, a lot of the newer ones like the Evora. It's a pretty competitive lobby with a lot of people that like to race. I like that lobby. I hang out in there a lot.
Unfortunately, I forget how to drive it. That's how you drive it, right?
Yeah, well, first two shifts, first shift really quick, second shift pretty quick, and then third gear nitrous is usually how I do it.
I mean, fourth gear nitrous?
Well, third gear nitrous, I think.
What the heck? It says my last run was a 7.8. I don't think that was right.
That's from the Lamborghini.
Yeah, sometimes it glitches out like that. There I got a 10.3 with a dyno of a 10.3. I must have done it wrong. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I hit nitrous in the wrong gear. It sucks how quickly I forget how to drive these things. All right. We'll get it right this time.
Emmanuel says he has the nasty blue with the red interior. I call that the Superman combo. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, blue and red. That is like the Superman thing.
Yeah, that's Superman combo,
right.
man.
What did I run this time? 10.266. That's not bad. With
Yeah,
a
there you
dyno
go.
of a
It does beat dyno
10.331.
a little bit all the time. And then in certain level of upgrades, it'll beat dyno by about 0.2. But once you put S6 nitrous in, it actually beats it by less, surprisingly.
I probably need to play with my final drive a little bit more because it should beat dyno more than that. So it's probably not tuned real great right now. I would have to really start from scratch just to make sure I got a perfect tune on it, which I don't really feel like doing anymore at the moment.
Yep. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, I think it's fine.
I'm just too lazy. But yeah,
Danny,
I could probably...
what was the first car you maxed out? Somebody asked.
The first car that I ever maxed out? Probably the GTI. I don't know if that counts.
That was the first car I maxed out.
That probably doesn't count,
the Golf
though.
GTI.
The first... Let's see. What was the first good car that I ever maxed out? Let me try and think. This is going to cause... I'm going to have to rack my brain on this one. I don't know if it's a good car, but...
asked me about the nitro. I said the Griffiths actually beats dyno by a little more for some reason with stage 5 nitrous than stage 6 nitrous. It's just an observation. I'm not sure if that's going to be totally true all the time, but when I played with it, that's what I noticed.
I think the Ferrari F12 was actually the first car that I ever maxed out that wasn't like a tier 1 or a tier 2 or something.
Well, tier 5. Let's talk tier 5. Was that F12 was your first tier 5 car that you
Yep.
maxed?
Yep.
So the Huracan was my first quote maxed. I actually built the F12 first, and I got it pretty far. And then I learned that the Huracan was faster. Then I actually literally switched gears and spent extra time to go and max out the Huracan instead. So that was my first tier 5 that I fully maxed, was the Lamborghini Huracan.
That's a pretty nice one. Guys, I'm about to run to the restroom, so I will be back in a few minutes so Max can keep you entertained, I suppose.
Sure. So, if you're Infamous, if your very first max car was a 600 LT Spider, it's actually a great car to max. But that's McLarens are not that bad. I like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and McLarens because you can get fusions. So don't get stuck in the toilet.
I was planning on it. Somebody help! Somebody help!
Now I'm having a hard time talking. All right. So, Thomas, I know you're asking about the Zerono. My Zerono, as far as I can tell, is completely stock. I have a few fusions, and the one stage 6 I got from the milestone. So I really can't say much about it because the only encounter I have with it is inside the showdown. They are a little faster than the Porsche RWB, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a 7.5, 7.6 car. That's not that great. I mean, I'm sure this SVJ Roadster will probably end up being a little bit faster than it, and it's going to be way easier to build this season's milestone car that's coming out. The 1.1, yes, it is a good car, but very difficult to get parts for. But if you compare it to all other cars that are available in Tier 5, it's kind of upper mid-pack though. It's not really super fast. It's not really super high evo. It's not really super easy to tune. So to me, that's not the car to invest in unless you just have a lot of parts for it anyway. Now, when people tell me they have all stage 6 installed, my question to them is, how many fusions are you missing? You're missing about half the fusions. So that car will not be competitive at all in live, because the way matchmaking works, when you have really high performance points from all those stage 6s and you have low evo from lack of fusions, you're going to get beat by everybody you go into live lobby with. So it's not good to go in that way. I'd rather have it the reverse, where I only have stage 3 or 4 upgrades in, but my car's making 2000 evo. That's a winner in live, because the way matchmaking looks at it is you have a lowly upgraded car that is outrunning what is supposed to be the common time frame that most cars in that upgrade level would run, because you have super high evo. So you get a very good live racing car that way. Is the SVJ Roadster a good live racing car? Since I don't have it, I can't tell you, but the regular SVJ is quite decent in live racing, so I cannot imagine the Roadster being way worse. So my gut feeling is that it will be a very decent car all around, and I intend to build it. Yeah, so exactly. Your red F5 with 698 performance point at 2200 evo will be competitive. So that's exactly what you look for. You want to make sure your evo points way up, and at as low a performance point as you can set it up for, which requires, in almost every case, full fusions, which is why getting those fusions becomes so important. When is Danny? Albert, you keep asking when we're going to end the stream too. Come on, man. We're going to be here probably for another half an hour. We like talking, so we like you guys asking these questions. All right, so SVJ. So again, SVJ Roadster, I think it's going to end up being a pretty good car. Venom Red F5, it's a very good car if you keep in mind to set it up with minimum upgrades for maximum evo. So, you know, that's going to be important. All right, LOL. Shout out to LOL Gamer, because he asked. Otherwise, he's going to troll us again. We don't want more troll questions from him. So, definitely give him a shout
Gamer.
out. You back, Denny?
Sorta.
All right, Droid update
Sorta
is
back.
out. I haven't seen it yet. I'll look for it after the stream.
I'm not really sure.
All right, so Ace, that's a good question.
I actually got the headphones on the other phone right now, so I'm listening to the stream.
Are you there, Danny?
All right, hold on a second. Let me get my things back into here so I can hear. All right, now we're back on real time.
All right. So Ace asked a question about: are we able to use all the Bugattis we won from the last event to use in the new Supercar Science event? Yes and no. Based on the list I've seen, the Cento, the LVN. I'm not going to try to pronounce the full names of these. Those are. I don't know if everybody has those. You got to buy at least one new one, and you have to get the 300, which you can win from the event. So, but then you're building another Bugatti.
Yeah, it looks like there was a few of the lock-ins were going to be the same old Bugattis we had, and a few of them are going to be paid Bugattis. So,
it's definitely a paid event. I have no illusions about that event being a free to play. It's going to be one of those you're going to have to pay some money for.
Now, that video I made about the 2.17 update actually listed off all of the lock-ins, but hopefully that was right. Those are actually pretty early notes, so sometimes they do change things on us.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee.
They change stuff all the time.
Yeah, so there's no guarantee those are going to be the lock-ins when it comes out, but that's what they're telling us as of right now.
Yep. So we'll have to see. Now, the Jesco, if you tune the Jesco to redline that fast, then it's very hard to drive. But my Jesco, when I use it with more fusions, you can pull back the final drive, so it's not as bad. But it is a quick shifting car.
I don't remember it being that bad. Are you talking about the Absolute?
No, the regular. I think he's talking about the regular Jesco.
Okay, I don't think I've driven that one.
It's not that. I mean, it is bad if you put it to like a 4-point-something final drive. It's almost impossible to hit those first few gears. But you can tune it with the lower final drive once you have more fusions and upgrades in it. So it's not that bad. All right, so Sarda says, I hate live racing. Takes too long to look for a trade racer. I have to say, for guys who really wants to trade, you do want to get into the 9s and faster lobbies as quick as you can. Because most guys in the faster lobbies are looking for other players to trade with, and they're a lot more consistent about it.
Is the LBM3 GTS good for Tempest 2? Yeah, it should do that no problem, actually. If you get enough parts into it, that car does very well for the Tempest races, from what I remember.
Yeah, so that's a good car for Tempest 2. It'll do just fine. So Thomas wants a shout out too. So I'm gonna give Thomas a shout out. Thomas, Quebec. Now, if everybody start asking, we'll just spend the whole stream shouting out to people. So we got to keep it limited, all right?
Hey, Thomas, buddy. Shout out to Thomas.
All right, so Gold Star Devo, maybe 1200. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those Bugattis will end up in part of some kind of showdown. It's not in the data from the guys that are data mining it, but who knows? They can always change it.
Yeah, I can't even remember what the lock-ins were. Like, I just read them off, and see, my memory's terrible. Some people probably remember everything. I saw Rainier, there was.
I'm going to answer Rainier's question about Showdown, since we're on Showdown. Showdown is based on your trophy count. You could bring the slowest stock car possible into Showdown. As soon as you start getting past the placement races and you have an actual trophy count, the only thing the game looks for is another player with the same trophy count. If that player happens to have a fully maxed F1, like in the previous Showdown, and he just started when you started at the 50 or 5, well, usually it's 350 trophy, you'll match each other. So you'll run 16 and he'll run his 7 seconds. But that's how Showdown works. There's no handicap for dyno. It's purely trophy versus trophy.
I just tried to post something in chat and it didn't go through. Oh, it's not letting me send the... I must be on my other account. It's not letting me send a link, so hold on a second.
Oh no, Infamous is asking for a shout out now too. Look at that. Yeah, shout out to Infamous. I'm gonna just start shouting out to all the names I'm seeing down here. Thomas CB, TBR Griffiths is a good live racing car, but you have to shift it properly. Look at Denny's video on the shift pattern, but do remember that without full upgrades, the shift pattern has to be adjusted to whatever you have as far as upgrades. Spider-Man LB is the same as the Gold Star LB, except it gives a little more RP, and is it slightly faster, Denny? Is the Spider-Man faster?
I don't think it was. I think they were pretty much the same exact car. I know I made a video on each one of those, but my memory says they're the same thing. They just look a little different. But I could be wrong. The Spider-Man does have purple stars, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So it's a little extra RP.
Yeah. You know. It was now okay. Now I remember. It was a teeny tiny bit faster, but it was barely noticeable, I think.
Yeah, barely. Exactly. It's not that much different. And the truth is, I really like that Mercury look on the regular one. So now I kind of abandoned my Spider-Man and I'm focused on that Mercury one.
Someone's asking me to live race the TVR. Well, I got 3 things of gas. I got to save the rest of my gas for later. I don't want to spend too much gold. I guess I can afford it, but maybe we'll take that in for a couple live races. Now that it's maxed out, no, it's not maxed out. Now that I added some more parts, let's go see how it does, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to answer Mr. Poopy's question. Is it worth stripping my only stock RBRX7 for fusions for my LB Miata? The short answer is no. Never strip your only stock anything for anything else. Okay, you can strip duplicates, but don't strip your only car. That RBRX7 is a very good car. You're going to regret that someday when you strip it. So please don't do it.
Yeah, not a good idea.
No rush to get through Tempest. Just hang tight. You'll get the fusion at some point, and then you can kind of finish it up.
That's a
and
cool
I think someone even
Porsche.
asked earlier about the worst Tempest cars. We went through that in the last stream, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, actually.
Yeah, the worst Tempest boss cars. Oh, Jesco Draco Red. I don't have that one, so I'm not sure if I can answer any questions about that one.
I'm not really familiar with that one.
I know that it's similar. I mean, all these same cars are a little bit similar anyway, so you know, it's probably not too far off.
Ah! Crab sandwiches!
You let it in SXR beat you? Come on.
That is one of the best cars.
Yeah, it is. And that one is fast.
Currently, this car isn't beating Dino by that much either, so...
Yeah, but this car should, I mean, unless you've been beating on it, Danny, this car should have a decent lobby advantage, so I'm really surprised. But that is a very tough lobby. It's a lot of competitive cars in there.
But yeah, I mean, those NSXRs are actually one of the best live racing cars in Tier 4.
Yep, you see them all over the place for that reason. So, let me see. Elite GD asked me a question. How many paid cars do you have other than the Jesco? I have a few. I don't have a whole lot. I don't do a lot of the flash car events. But I have like the Bugattis that you have to buy. I have the Porsche event cars you had to buy, and I have the Ferrari event cars you had to buy. So those I definitely bought, and I did get the Apollo as well. So I have a few cars, but not that many. I tend to be very selective what cars I actually pay money for.
My live racing stream will be on Sunday. What do we think about the wild card system? As far as like, why can't only the leader or whatever admins activate it? We've actually got some answers about that. We've talked to a couple of people, and they say they want to leave it the way it is. They don't want to make it so only admins or crew leaders can activate it. They say they want that to be for everybody and to be... I can't remember exactly how they worded it, but they basically said, nope, it's staying the way it is. So a lot of us really wish they would change it.
They, you know, some of Natural Motion's decisions just makes me scratch my head. I can't... I guess they're looking at every crew out there rather than just milestone crews. So I guess it makes sense. In some crews, you might be the only guy active and you're not the leader. So, you know, but I don't see how that wild card really helps you much since you're not earning a car from it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we had so many problems with people. When our crew first started, we had so many problems with people activating our wild cards, and we kicked so many people out because they kept ruining our schedule. That's before we got communication in our crew. That's before we set up a line app where we forced everybody to join, or I should say required everybody to join. And now we haven't had problems in I don't even know how long, except for maybe every once in a while somebody donates to the wrong wild card or something like that. But ever since we got an app and started interviewing people and stuff like that, we have not had one person activate a wild card like randomly since. So it's been such a big help. Such a big help.
Good. That's always a good thing when people don't end up screwing up your wild cards.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the biggest problems our crew had for a long time until we got some sort of outside source for communication. I mean, that made things so much better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, LOL Gamer said, is it worth it that I'm working on NSXR? It's the Elite Level 27. Now, here's what I think about these Legend cars that also can be Elite. It's not a bad thing because we all know Legend never die, everybody gets stuck. And sometimes you just can't get that stage 6 for a while, but if you can elite the car enough to get those extra fusion slots, it may be fast enough to get through Legend Never Die. So, you know, it's kind of a balancing act on which ones you upgrade and how far you try to push it. But it may work out. 2020 Corvette is a good live race car. I've been using one that's both maxed and elite on my second account with very good success. So that is a good car.
Yeah, those are actually great.
Yeah. Now, Alec Robinson asked, is the Camaro ZL1 1LE good for Tempest 3? It's a little bit slow.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's fast enough to be safe. That's the problem.
I wouldn't risk it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it'll hit most of the target times, except when you get to the end against Harkness. You really want that car fully maxed, and even then, I forget what it runs, but I remember it was something, I think it's in the 8s. It's not even a 7-second car.
Man, this is nuts.
Probably too risky to recommend.
We have pretty much, like, no delay on the stream. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm looking at the wrong screen. But yeah, I'm finally using that ultra low latency setting, so the delay is very small.
So Mark Chance just popped in. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Danny and I will try to be together doing these streams once a week, maybe on Fridays, since my schedule seems to work out better on Fridays.
Yeah, Friday is actually a little better for me as well, because on Saturdays I live stream on my other channel, plus I have a few things going on, so Friday's a good day. So hopefully every week we'll get together to do one of these things. We'll probably stream for somewhere between, I'd say most of the time, an hour and a half to 2.5 or something like that. Like we're almost going on 2 hours right now, so
yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. It's pretty quick.
If you're down with it, I say
having fun.
if you're down for it, I say we go for about another 30 minutes.
Yep. Let's see.
Is that good for you, Max, or do you got anything you need to do? Or?
I'm good.
All right, cool. This is one of those cars right here. This, the Salzburg. I know it's not actually called Salzburg, but this is one of those cars I've always wanted to upgrade, but never have. Looks really cool. I love the way this one looks.
Car. I just don't think it's really special enough to justify too much investment.
Yep.
It was given to us for free, I think, during that. It's a player level event that they had, and then they ended up giving us that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good car, but it's not as good as the what is that, like the Cayman GT4 VTSC or whatever it is.
Yep, that's it.
So I mean, if you've got that, you're way better off dumping your parts into that one instead if you have both. That's the only reason I've never messed with that one, is I've got the other one. There we go, the Z4.
In fact, the VCS, so I know a lot of people like to use the VCS Porsche for Tempest 3. It's got a little bit of a quirky tune to it, so if you ever get stuck, I did make a video very specifically for that car to make it through Tempest 3 Tier 3. So look that up. It has all the explanations in there to take care of that. Lego Star Maxi, what are the green tokens? The green tokens are used for elite cars that you can elite upgrade. It's used in every single one of them, and you need a lot for Tier 5 cars. So, you know, that's why everybody's running showdowns trying to earn them.
The Z4 M40i is a live racing destroyer.
I don't doubt that in T3 because it is one of the cars that has that can run stage 5s and almost compete with some cars that are almost fully maxed. So
last time I took that into live, it was beating the pants off of everyone.
Yeah.
I don't remember how to drive it, or I would take it in and do a couple runs with it, but
I just remember you have to shift it really fast. So
what is that? The California. That's another good live racer, isn't it?
Which one?
The Ferrari California.
It was back in the day. I'm not so sure about now.
I kind of remember it being good, but I kind of don't remember at the same time.
Yeah, I haven't driven the California in a long time. At one time, it was right there as one of the fastest T3s alongside with Amelia's M4. But nowadays, everything is so much faster than that.
This is one of these cars I actually bought with gold because I thought, you know what? It's going to be a Prestige Cup car one day. Might as well spend the gold instead of my keys, but it hasn't ever been the Prestige Cup car yet. At least not that I've seen. Maybe before my time, but I just haven't seen it.
That was an old milestone car, I believe. I don't know about it was ever set up for Prestige, but it was definitely a milestone car. Well, actually, it was part of some events too. I think maybe showdowns or something.
You know what? I need to check and see if I have any parts for my Honda NSX-R. One of these days, I should upgrade that thing.
You should have a decent amount of Honda Fusions nowadays with all the hatchbacks and stuff you can get.
It's mainly the Stage 6 that I'm worried about. Let's see if I have any Stage 6 for that car.
So E just asked, best T1 car to start with. I think you and I both kind of agree that GTI is one of the better choices.
Man, I'm so disappointed by what I'm saying right now. I missed what did you say?
Oh. best tier 1 car to start off with.
Oh yeah, definitely the GTI. Definitely the GTI. But yeah, I can't believe I've only got one Stage 6 part for the NSX-R. That is such a bummer. That's why I've never upgraded it.
And this is the exact reason why so many people are stuck in Legend Never Die and can't get anywhere. because it's so hard to get a stage 6 for some of these cars, and you stuck there for like 8 months waiting for a part to drop.
That actually kind of makes me mad. Only one? I thought I would have at least 3 or 4 by now.
Yeah, it's weird. Some people get a lot real fast, and then those of us who just get like none.
All right, here we go. The 2020 Corvette Stingray. Someone just asked you about that one, right? That's the one you were saying was good?
Yeah, it is a good live racer. I think mine is more towards... no, mine is fully maxed. That's the difference.
Mine is...
Not that you need a fully maxed to win, but it's a great car one way or the other.
Mine is fully stock. Which one wins?
You may
Which
have
one
some
wins?
parts for it.
I might. I don't know. This is another cool car I've never really messed with. So many cars, though, I would love to upgrade, but I just don't have the game cash. A lot of people see that 56 million game cash up there in the top corner. They say, oh, you're rich. And then I explain to them, man, by the time you upgrade a a tier 5 car and dump all the fusion parts into it and stuff, you're spending what, like 7-8 million cash for one car?
Yeah.
I mean, you upgrade like, I could probably upgrade like, I don't know, well, like six or 7 cars, and I would be broke.
Well, you got to think that one Bugatti event, if you were building all 6 lock-ins or 5 lock-ins, you're going to spend at least 30 million to 36 million in one event. So yeah, saving money is important because spending it is too easy.
Hold on, I think somebody's spamming and then deleting their messages. What's going on here? Do we have any mods here besides Max?
I think I think all the mods jumped off.
I think the mods are all gone. Let's see, how do I time this person out? For some reason it's not letting me time this person out. Wait a second.
Let me see if I can.
There we go.
You got it?
Hopefully it worked. I think so. I just tried to time them out, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Lego Star, the crew tokens change colors every season, so the fact that you got green ones isn't surprising. Some seasons it's purple, other seasons it's green. So, you know, that's a common thing, actually.
Yep.
Now, please don't keep spamming that because then we will have to time you out.
Yeah, I timed out the one person. The main reason I don't want to add any more mods, usually we have a bunch of mods that are on, and you don't really want to have too many on your channel at one time. So unfortunately, I'd prefer not to add any more just for the reason that I already have a bunch. But they just don't happen to be on right now, unfortunately. I've always got a bunch of them on my morning streams.
So, Super NOS, if you play the game carefully, you should never have to use it. That's something that Natural Motion like to put out there for guys that are relatively new and kind of, I would say, you know, looking to rush through the initial stuff and want the boss cars. It's an easy moneymaker for them, but you really don't need it. I wouldn't use Super NOS unless, you know, I'm just not patient enough to build my car. So
yeah, I never bought the Super NOS. Someone was just asking me about that the other day, if they had the, you know, they can't be, oh, I can't afford the Super NOS. I'm like, you don't need it. Just wait till your car is fast enough, basically. You got to be patient on this game or it will cost you a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with spending money on a game, but not everybody has that. But it's all about patience on this game. Very important to be patient and don't try to rush through stuff.
And those initial boss cars pretty much all suck. So spending money to do Super NOS just to get the initial 5 boss cars really is not worth it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
I must have done some Elite Customs upgrades on this. I don't remember this car having a stripe on it before.
So Sirenas asked whether we think FNF events will come back later on. Let me tell you something. As long as Natural Motion can make money, those FNF events will keep coming. They're really kind of reaching now with some of these cars. You know, they're not major cars as part of the series, but they're putting them in the game. So
yeah, I remember when they
another round.
I remember when they made it sound like we're done with the Fast and Furious events forever. This is going to be the last one. Do it now or you'll never get these cars again or something. I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but that's kind of how it sounded. And 6-7 months later, bam. Here comes the Fast and Furious again. And we've had like 3 or 4 of them since then, I think. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we've had a few of them since then.
So somebody is asking you about that Viper. Did you go buy a Viper with purple stars? Is that the green one from Halloween?
I do have 2 Vipers. Let me go back and find that. I think I have a red one with purple stars.
I don't have the McLaren Senna, so I can't answer your question on it. From what I can tell, the Senna is a good car, but I haven't really had a chance to play with it too much.
Now, I do have a Viper with 3 purple stars.
Oh, that's that glitched one. Yeah. I remember this one.
They gave this to us for free.
If you click on it, I think it has the same number of fusions as the Gold Star, but it has purple stars on it.
Did you see that? It said 78 and then it jumped to 79.
Yeah, well, that's because a new Elite thing is available for it now. But
oh yeah.
This one it's basically the regular Viper.
But yeah, I think it's the exact same as the gold starred one.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Dodge Viper, whether it's T4 or the T5 one, is you can down tune it. You'll lose a lot of Evo, but you know you can bust dyno with it.
Wait a second.
It won't last too long that way unless you're really good at controlling it. But hey, I've had my money taken by Dodge Vipers when I was a newer player. So once I figured it out, you know, I've always avoided them when it comes to betting money.
Well, let's see what this has. All right, so it holds one more part than a regular tier 4 car. And that's probably because I did upgrade it a little bit, I think.
You might have can you check what elite level you have? You might have added a fusion slot already.
That's what I'm trying to find, but I've lost the car. I can't find it. Here it is. All right. Where are we at? Yeah, I did. Level 5 gave it an extra part. So
yeah, there it is. That's where you got that. So like I said, it's the same as the regular Viper.
Yep. Exact same thing. Question is, does it have an extra bonus or not? It's got a rare car of 9%.
It might be 1% more or 2% more than the Gold Star.
Let's find out.
What's the worst car in the game? It's more like what's the worst car in each tier.
This one's 9% as well. So yeah, the only difference is the stars are purple by mistake, I guess. Everybody was mad about that. I just remember
it wasn't all that special when I really looked into it, so.
Everyone was angry about that.
Yeah. So, for some reason, most of the SUVs in this game sucks. Okay, that just, maybe it's intentional, but most of them suck. The BMW i8 is definitely not one of the better tier 4s, even though they're pretty.
This is beautiful.
You know, I don't know. It's hard to say what's the absolute worst car of each tier. I mean, there's 2 or 3 that are usually pretty bad.
You know, I thought this LB i8 was going to be different, and then I kind of looked up what it did, and I was like, it's another crap sandwich. I mean, it's pretty. It kind of sucks when you have an LB car that's not very good. I mean, this is such an awesome looking car. I mean, I would love to drive this around in real life, but
oh yeah.
It's not that great in the game.
Regular i8's a sharp-looking car on the road. If you ever drive by one, you're like, "Woo, that looks good." But
this one's
unfortunately,
super
in this game, it's really bad.
The way those doors open, oh man, I want one. I want doors like that. All right.
So best T4 starting car, if you had an option and you were able to pull it, I would say the 3-star Nissan GTR R35 is one of the best tier 4 cars to start with. The Aston Martin Vanquish, I put it at the same level because both cars, when fully maxed, will push you all the way through Tempest 2. And the GTR with stage 5 and no fusions, if you can shift fast, can beat Victor. So there are things that are good and bad, but those are two good starter cars.
Sorry if I'm a little bit out of it today, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, sorry if I'm a little bit out of it today. I'm just not feeling that great. I'm feeling kind of run down, so
I'm sorry to
not
hear
as,
that.
probably not as like energetic and attentive as normal. I think I've been staring off at my garage more than the comments, which is not normal. Usually I'm reading
RS6
everything.
Avant. I don't consider that an SUV. That's a wagon, so.
Station wagon.
Yeah, that's a station wagon.
A really cool one at that. I think I went the wrong way. Hold on. That's an awesome car. That's an awesome car. You want me to...
Victor's car definitely sucks. But
Somebody wants me to take Shaq's car into a live race.
oh, good luck.
Yeah. I think there's a way to tune it where you can make it win, but it doesn't do very well. Yeah, this is cool. This is definitely not an SUV. Now, I've seen some really awesome Audi station wagons with body kits and, I mean, actual like race car versions of these, and they're super cool. I wish they would have put a body kit on this one and like some cool liveries or something.
Well, I'm sure if LB Works did something, Natural Motion might put it in. So,
I mean, this car is a beast in the live racing tracks.
that car's a beast in real life, too.
That is true.
Yeah.
Way better than that Dodge station wagon, I would say.
I like it. I like this. I mean, you know, it's a really expensive wagon, but
Yeah.
you know, blow the doors off of half the sports cars in the world. So
Basically, it's a family car that's disguised. You know, it's disguised as a family car, but it's really not.
yeah, I mean, one thing about removing stage 6s off of the initial boss cars, don't waste the gold. I made a video about this. It's a glitch, I think. You're allowed to remove it, but if you log out and log back in, they all magically go back on. So you just spend thousands of gold removing it, only for it to just all magically reappear on your car. So
Wait, which car does this?
Don't do it.
Which car does this?
I'm sorry?
What car does that?
All the original boss cars,
Really?
you can now remove their stage 6 with gold, but the game adds them back in.
Wow.
So it's like, what's the whole point? Now, they get faster when you remove the stage 6s, but then, you know, you just wasted all your gold, so it's not good.
Now, this is a really cool looking car, too. I don't really like Mercedes in general, but this thing looks pretty sweet. This AMG Black Series, or the GT Black.
Well, this one's holding the world record right now on Nürburgring, I think, for a production car.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to give me one for free, I'll take it.
There's only a few Mercedes in real life that I would like to drive, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah, this is a very cool looking car, and also a lot of technology in it. If you really read up what they did to make this car do its, you know, song and dance, this is a pretty impressive car all around.
But yeah, I'm just going through my garage. You guys get to see every car that I own if you've been watching this whole time. Max, if you ever need me to switch back to your garage for anything, just let me know.
If you're tired, I can always jump back in live a little bit while we talk. So give guys a chance to come in and race.
Yeah, if you'd like to do that, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure about 20 or more minutes, and I'll probably cut it off here. So let me switch back to you. All right, you are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, that 600 LT is a good car, definitely. The LT Spider's a good one too.
I can't get my 600 LT to do anything in live. Like when it first came out, it was beating Dino, it was beating everybody, and it's like the update came about a week later, and it wouldn't win a live race for me ever since. I think they changed the shift pattern from the original one, and now it's got like a really crazy shift pattern that I can't seem to get right.
Yeah, they like to tweak stuff without telling you.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're like, hey, what happened to my car?
I was mad.
Oh, I would be too. I mean, that would make me livid if I spent all that time making it work and then they killed it. Let me see. Hey, let's go do some showdown.
No. You do that by yourself. No. I think that was an invitation for me to come with you.
I'll jump back into T4.
Dude,
so.
you're a crazy driver. I don't want to get in your car.
All right, let's go ahead and jump in live. I'll jump back in live with the... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump in live with my Corvette.
I mean, you can do showdown. I'm just being silly.
All right, let me see what this thing's dyno is. This is a 10.4 dyno, 10.446.
Ashley's car. No, thank you.
Ashley's car is very difficult to get anything out of. I like this one. I like this so much, I put my name on it. Look at that.
Sweet.
Yep, one of the few elite upgraded cars that I got this far.
I don't have any that far yet.
I think I did that on the F1 on my main account. That's about it.
Oh, I think I did it with the Boss Mustang or whatever, the Tier 1. I think I actually got my name on that.
Oh, yeah. That's an easier one to get to that point. Same thing with the 250 GTO. You can get pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's race some people. Who we got here? This is a tough car to race usually. Somebody showed me a tune on this, beating Dino by like 0.6. All right, he accepted, and now the game is okay. Finally. Whew.
Yeah, those are great cars. Those are great cars.
Yeah, I got to go back and look at it. Yeah, it's 10.446 dyno is what this car's dyno is, the one I'm driving. Oh, yours is maxed? Now this car, again, maxed is a dyno buster, so, you know, part of the reason why the Corvette is a good live racer is because of that. And it actually works very well fully maxed. I don't even know how I'm in it. Maybe he drove slow? Let me have some gas first.
What's your
my dyno's a 10.4.
No, you would not find them with an 11.2, Thomas. You would need a dyno time similar to his.
Let's see. Oh, well, I'm trying to race, so I'm trying to read your comments, but I'm not quite getting exactly what you're trying to say here.
He says,
and I didn't launch very well there, but
tune.
let's see if Miguel's card's gonna catch me. I'll let him catch me. Hold on.
Oh, I think he wants you to tune a car to his dyno, maybe.
Oh, he wants me to tune it to his dyno.
I think that's what he's saying.
Ah, but I don't want to.
I normally don't do that because it's a time-consuming, you know. It can be a little time-consuming, and then your tune might not be super great.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Zukar tune for this car. I might have tweaked it because I was messing around with something, but you know, this is probably not optimal tune, but it works fine, at least in this particular lobby. Rowdy Burns is in here with me. Challenge me. I'll just wait.
Oh, Rowdy Burns.
I don't know who's. Oh, I see Rowdy Burns. Okay.
That's my buddy. He was actually in my crew for a little while there.
All right. I just got challenged by a Porsche 911 Turbo S.
Man, I'm gonna change the name of this stream to CSR2Talk with Danny Lightning and Mad Max. Even though Max isn't mad, but that's got a nice ring to it.
Mad Max, I like it. I'll take it. You
I
should
just
see me
watched,
doing Showdown. I am Mad Max.
I just watched the Mad Max movie the other day, and I didn't really like it. I think it was one of the newer ones. It wasn't really.
I like
my
the original.
thing.
I really like that the Mel Gibson ones.
Yeah. I did enjoy the originals when I was younger. I haven't seen them in forever, but I was pretty bummed out with the one I saw the other day. I think it was called like Thunder Road or something.
Oh yeah, that's the new one. That's a good one,
weird.
actually.
It was weird. There's like guys on a truck driving through the desert with this big, huge like PA system with like 500 speakers, and he's playing the guitars. They're battling. It's just like, that's weird. It was a little too much for me.
It was an intense movie though. It really was intense. The dude with the hoses sticking out of him.
The hoses.
Ooh,
I don't
Eclipse.
really remember that.
The Eclipse is a good car. This is one of the cars that just it's from Luca Black. All right.
I've seen a
Might
lot
be
of
a
people
teammate.
saying that the Eclipse sucks, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? That thing's awesome.
That thing is awesome.
I don't know
That's
how
gonna give me
anybody
a hell of a
can say
run
it
for my
sucks.
money too.
That's one of the few cars I really want is that Eclipse.
Yeah,
I think
I like
next
the
time-
underglow. You see that all that underglow on it?
I think next time the Fast and Furious events pop up, somebody sent me PayPal, $20 on PayPal, and said buy a car, and I missed the car. Like the car, by the time
he's
I
not
saw it, the
challenging me
car
again.
wasn't available. But I think next time a Fast and Furious event pops up where I can get the Eclipse. Heck, I wonder if I don't think it was available this time, was it?
No. They have not given that car out again since that one time. I don't know why, but all right, I got Rowdy Burns now. Someone's asking about buying the GT350R and the Ford GT for gold.
GT.
I don't know. I mean, once you get the GT40 to move on in Legends, I really don't think it's necessary to really push it from there. But you know, it depends on, I guess, how you feel about each event. If you want to get it done, then yeah. But it's a lot of gold. It really is a lot of gold to buy those cars.
Dennis says he just finished beating Shaxx and he doesn't know what to do. Should I farm keys for live races and wait for a good car to upgrade it? Well, I mean, you're going to end up having to do the Tempest races pretty soon, so you're going to want to get geared up for Tempest, all right? And that's kind of a waiting game. My guess is just do all the daily stuff, live race, have fun with your crew, and just be patient until you get cars that are fast enough to do the Tempest stuff. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. Tempest 1's not that hard. It probably won't take you too long to get a car from each tier to do Tempest 1. Tempest 2 wasn't too bad, but 3 is where it gets really, really hard. But what you're going to want to do is look up all the boss times, figure out how fast the bosses are, and then, once you have a car that's fast enough to beat the bosses for Tempest 1, then you're going to lock it in. I would definitely wait till your car is fast enough to beat the boss. That way you don't get halfway through and get stuck and have to change cars or something like that. Hopefully that's the kind of advice you were looking for there.
All right, I think he's heading out. He just said goodbye. So, but yeah, those are good points about that Tempest part, because really a lot of this Tempest stuff, it's not really, again, I keep saying it's not worth rushing through. It's really not worth that much. Now, on the other hand, the most important thing about Performance Ford is that if you get the Performance Ford done, you can get that MK40, which you need to get the F1, so it's worth it to do that. Did I take Rowdy's win or something? Because he's not challenging me again.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I wasn't watching there.
Now, earlier he disconnected. That's because my device isn't as fast as his. When I re-challenged him, he probably clicked accept as soon as he saw it, and then it disconnected us because I'm still coming out of the loading screen. But this time I don't know what happened, that he's racing someone else now. But
there's actually a couple more Aguirres in the
he kicked
game.
him out. Okay.
Shax's isn't the only one. Oh, Rowdy got kicked. Oh, Rowdy's in the chat. Hey, what's up, Rowdy?
Yeah, he's in the chat. That's why I was saying when I found him, I was like, this is good. All right, so now one thing you guys probably learned by now watching me live race is I always hold back a little if I'm ahead. I don't want to be too far ahead of anybody. It's just to keep the car more viable longer periods so I don't get bumped very easily. It's not that I'm, trying to torture you or anything. I just I'm trying to keep my car viable. Let's see. So again, the only reason to do the Ford Performance Cup is to try to, if you already have the MK40, the GT40, then really finishing the Performance Cup isn't that important. That's my opinion. And actually, you want those crates, so you just leave it unfinished so you can keep collecting free Ford Fusions.
I always think it's weird because you have a car called a Ford Fusion and you have Ford Fusion parts.
I like your Streamlabs always saying LOL thanks. I don't know why it does that. Whenever you're talking to it, but it's like, thank you.
Somebody said something. I don't know what they said that triggers that, but let's see.
Yeah, I just, it's funny though. It always says LOL thanks.
Yeah, I don't know what triggered that. I don't know. I can probably find a list of commands somewhere, but I'm really not sure what does that.
Well, I mean, current best car in T5, if you go by just the fastest, is definitely the Koenigsegg Absolute, Jesko Absolute, right? So.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, there must be a bunch of commands.
My problem with that Benz Sopra one is that I think it's ugly. I just don't like that body kit.
I don't really like that either.
Yeah, I mean, the Nismo R34 that was the one the blue one. I love that one. But this one, it just, something about the way it looks just doesn't appeal to me. All right, Elite NSXR. This is going to be an interesting race. He could blow my doors off. We'll see. This one, I'm not taking any chances. Shifting into A7s. Oh, not too bad.
Okay.
$10.4. I'm surprised. I would expect that to run a little faster than that. He's a little bit newer player, so probably still missing some parts.
I'm trying to find out what makes it say LOL thanks.
Ace, I don't think those new R34 share parts. You go look in the parts section if you already upgraded. I suspect them being T5, I don't think it's going to share with really. I'm not sure if it shares with the S tune, but I'm not too optimistic they're going to share a lot of parts. I mean, they'll share fusions, but. All right, so E, you just touched on an interesting subject there. Why do I always downshift at the end? Because I don't want to beat people by more than I have to. The way this game works in live is it tracks your runs, and it averages them out based on your dyno. So let's say your dyno's 10.4, and you're running too fast. You're always running 10.3, 10.2s. You're running negative 0.2 faster than your dyno. The computer will adjust you into a lobby where everybody's going to be 0.2 faster than your dyno to start with. At that point, you will start losing. By doing what I'm doing, I can keep this Corvette winning indefinitely. And that's exactly what I do with most of my cars, is I just beat people by as much as I need to. It takes a while to get the hang of how each car catches up to you, though. So you have to learn your opponent's cars even as much as you have to know your own car. Okay, whether they accelerate a lot at the end or they top out early, you really have to start memorizing the patterns of how these cars work.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain in the butt to have to reset your cars all the time.
Well, yeah, I'm lazy. I don't want to reset them. That's why I do it this way.
I'm not very good at doing that. I always have to reset
most
mine.
of the guys that I race with, and I always tell them, I said, look, hold back, pull back. You know, you don't have to win every race, and you don't have to always go so fast. I over downshifted that time because I'm busy talking, but what happens is you can always kind of watch the other guy chasing you down and make a judgment call. Can I slow my car down a bit? You don't have to slow down as much as I do sometimes, but you just want to try to run as close to your dyno as possible, as often as possible. Keeps your car pretty much competitive. And oh, he's waiting for me. Let me race him. It keeps your car competitive much more easily.
The main problem I've found with slowing down is there's so many other cars out there that beat dyno, and if you slow down, you're gonna lose a lot of the time. So,
well, yeah, I mean, like against the LB Aventador, if you slow down early, it's gonna blow by you at the end of the track. So you have to, you always have to be careful how you're gonna do that. I guess he wasn't waiting for me.
The one thing I was thinking about trying is win 6 and then lose the last 4.
Yeah,
I kind of wonder if that would
to me
do it.
I don't mind losing. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I hate losing. But if I lose because I miscalculated, that's one thing. But I'm really not into giving races away when I don't have to. Now, since I took the win on the last run with Rowdy. Obviously, if we're swapping, I have to honor that and give him the race. But if you're racing all out, you know, I don't want to give up races arbitrarily. It's just not my style, really.
Emmanuel, have a great day. All right, should you buy gas for coins? Yes and no. I do spend a lot of gold to buy more gas, but it's got to be for the right occasion. Most of the time I try and watch ads when I need gas. Now on my live streams, or if I'm just having a day where I'm too lazy to watch the ads, those are about the only times I actually do that. Now if we got a wild card going like the 150, I don't mind spending, you know, 20, 40, or maybe 60 gold. Because as of right now, the game is constantly giving you out a lot of gold, but it looks like they might be taking away some of the cups that do give out the gold. So I'm not sure how abundant the gold's going to be here pretty soon. So I wouldn't spend too terribly much gold for gas, all right? Just kind of make sure you're bringing in more than you're spending out if you do, because sometimes there might be some really awesome cars available to buy for gold and stuff, and you don't want to miss those. Like if a car is available for gold and you're buying it with like 3,000 gold, make sure it's something you really want. Because you don't want to waste your gold on something that's just kind of like so-so, or you really didn't need it that much.
Yeah, exactly. You want to pick and choose. Gold doesn't come that easily.
Yeah, I mean, it does take, like, I have like 16,000 gold, but it's taken a long time to save that up.
There's no way to remove stage 6s without spending gold. I think even if it's empty of fusion, it still costs you gold to remove it.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, I'm supposed to win this one, right? This is why I hate swapping. I always lose track.
I do too. Then I feel bad if I actually like forget.
I do. I feel bad, and then sometimes people leave right afterwards. I'm like, oh, I must have screwed up, you know. So it's swapping is efficient though. This is one of the quickest ways to build RP. Although alternatively, you can have 2 accounts and just beat up your other account. That's even faster. But there's nothing wrong if you have only 1 account. Swapping is definitely a good way to make some RP.
Starting T5 car. What I did is I bought the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta from the dealership. Of course, it's always best to wait till you get the one with 3 stars, but I did not do that, and it was good. I mean, it got me a lot of it got me through a lot of stuff. It got me through Tempest 1. It got me through Tempest 2. I think that's what I used to beat Shax as well. So I beat 3 bosses with that, and then eventually I pulled the one with 3 stars, and I think I stripped the one that had the stars, which was very expensive. Cost me several thousand gold. It was totally a waste of gold, but that's the main reason why I say it's best to wait till you get the one with stars. But if you need one right now, definitely get the F12 Berlinetta from the dealership. You can buy more of those and strip them to get parts, because not all the cars in this game are easy to get parts for, except for the ones you can buy in the dealership and strip to get more parts. Hopefully that's a good answer for you there.
I think that's a pretty extensive answer right there.
Why did they remove the crew RP from the daily rewards? I've never even noticed.
They keep changing things. I mean, that I don't know.
I can't really answer for them, like why they did something. No idea. They never really give us explanations. They just, if they do something, it's just like, hey, we're doing it, and that's about all the information we get on that. So
yeah, so only the initial boss cars come fully stage 6. When you get the future ones from Tempest, they'll come stock, and you have to build them like a regular car. So those original boss cars, in my opinion, are nothing more than bugged. You know, they're bugged cars. They weren't set up right to start with. Wait, am I supposed to win this?
Well, even the first boss cars that you get, even the ones that come with all the stage 6 loaded, they're not good cars. They're actually pretty. They're some of the worst cars in the game, actually. So
yeah,
I would
they're
not.
Bad. So generally collect them because they're great to have as part of your. You know, I was able to beat the bosses collection, but as far as building them, don't do it. I don't think they're worth it. So, you know, don't build those cars.
Yeah, not worth building at all. Get something else. Get something else.
Most hated event? I'll be honest with you, I hate showdowns. Nothing gets my blood pressure up faster than showdown.
I actually hate those stupid the prize cups that give you the keys, the silver keys. I mean, I love them, but 50 freaking races? That's a lot of races to do just to get some keys. I do that horrible thing every season, and it makes me so mad, but I need them keys.
Yeah.
Showdowns.
Hey, Rowdy, I think you clicked too quick. You left, but you know, it was good racing with you. Hey, look, it's Spider-Man. I'm gonna go challenge him.
Crap of sandwiched.
I'll need gas. All right, no problem. So when I add gas, I always do it on the turn when I lose, because I get to re-challenge after I re-add the gas. It's just something I do. But because when you're adding gas and you kind of the other guy's turn to re-challenge, what happens is the arrow disappears. So it looks to me like you left, even though you're just adding gas. Let me slow down. Even though you're just adding gas. So it's one of those things that I do to kind of avoid breaking up the chain of re-challenges when I swap with people.
Daniel Jensen, thank you for subscribing.
There, but the thing with the F5 is it's hard to beat Dino with that car. So against a Dino beating car in a lobby where you don't have some kind of lobby advantage, that car is a little challenging to get the most out of. All right, so Danny, we're about 2.5 hours into this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's time to call it quits, but real quick, guys, I figured out why it's saying LOL thanks. That was actually supposed to be one message. I must have went over characters, and it's breaking it into 2 messages. But after I said go, 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 it was supposed to say LOL thanks after that. And now it just says it as a second message. That's why it's doing that. I get it. But yeah, guys, we've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. And I'm pretty tired. I'm not feeling super great today. So I think it's time for me to pop off of here. Get up and move around a little bit. Get something to eat and stuff like that. But we really appreciate you guys coming out to these streams. We really do. You guys make this channel awesome. All right, having you guys here is amazing. I mean, it's so much fun to come in here and chat with everybody. I sorry if I was a little withdrawn today. Just not really all there today, I guess. But I'll be back for my next stream on Sunday. All right, so guys, come find me on Sunday. Sunday morning, I'll be doing my live racing stream. Max might even pop in for that. Not sure. Do you have anything else to say before we go, Max?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you feel a lot better by Sunday, Danny. Well, I'll definitely catch up with you then. And again, thanks everyone for coming to this stream. It's always the most fun because you guys make it fun. And we enjoy it a lot as much as you enjoy talking with us about different things. Rowdy, thank you for the swaps. It was a lot of fun. And again, I'll look forward to catching you guys all next week. And we'll find more topics about the game as new stuff comes along. And we're gonna have more fun talking about all the things, including all the mistakes Natural Motion likes to make. I'm sure we're going to have some glitches to talk about next time. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for coming to this stream.
And if you guys like what Max has to say, please check out his channel. Max might want to post a link to your channel real quick if you can. Or the bot might do it in a second, I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, give Max some subs if you can. He's got a great channel as well. Very knowledgeable, very helpful stuff over there. Real quick, how do you play CSR2 on the PC? I download a program called a Android emulator. Mine is LD Player. That's the name of the program. It allows you to put basically an Android operating system onto your PC, and then you just sign into your Google Play account like you would on your phone, and you can just download any apps or games you want onto your emulator there. Very nifty little thing. If you're on iOS, I'm not sure if they have anything like that or not, but me and Max both run the LD Player. It's a very good one.
Yep, LD Player works great, and it's a good way for Android guys to be able to play their games on the PC.
But yep, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. So again, thank you everybody. You guys have been awesome. Please hit that like button before you go if you haven't. And please think about hitting the subscribe button for me. And stop over Max's channel if you can and send him a few subs too, alright? You guys have a great night.